Good evening, everyone, and welcome to MNW Firing Line, your guide to Multiverse Nexus Wrestling. I'm your host, Jerry Aldini, aka Dr. Caliban. With me, as always, is Pete McPherson, aka Storytellers Apprentice.
Hello.
And once again joining us is Eric Genericson, aka Edward Bosco.
Hey, what's going on? How's that for timing?
Pretty good, pretty good. And thank you, Bosco, for the raid of 67.
Oh, shit. Thanks, Bosco.
So, yeah. How's it going, everyone?
Yo, Bosco, you're not supposed to use your mutant power on Twitch. It's only supposed to work on 2K19.
Oh, guys, I might have to change Notorious CAT's entrance. You don't understand.
Oh, no.
Ah!
Oh, no. What have you done?
Ah!
You know, I had to stop watching the stream because I had to go prepare for this stream, so I don't know what you
remember
did.
how we were looking for an entrance for the new debut?
Yeah.
We found one, but it's cats.
Oh, dear.
Oh.
Fireworks and everything. I'm just so mad at myself. Anyway, hi, guys. Thanks for tuning into Firing Line.
Yeah.
I do it to myself. I knew it, too, because I said before I checked the entrance, I know I can't use the start of this, but I just need to know for my own sanity. And I shouldn't have. I just should have known better.
Because you knew it was going to
How'd
happen.
that work for your sanity?
It didn't work at all.
Yeah, you know. I'll go back and check the end of the VOD then, because now I'm curious.
Yeah, please do. I'm just angry at myself.
That's, it's not the first time.
Yeah.
Won't be the
Also,
last.
for any of you guys that I brought a whole bunch of people over here, so anybody that's not already subscribed, definitely do that because we're about to review everything MNW related.
Yeah, everything, just all the things.
Everything.
Yeah. So for those of you joining us for the first time, we are a recap and talk show in the MNW universe. We jump back and forth over the kayfabe line like it's jump rope.
It's true.
Indeed.
And we are covering
Double Dutch in that shit.
Yeah, well, when you have two wrestling streams to cover plus an interview, and tonight's interview is fun because it'll play into something that happened at the Gaol.
Mm-hmm.
Gaol.
Something that somebody we know might have edited together at the behest of saving another friend of ours. That's all I'm saying. Anyway,
Yeah, fair enough.
Fair enough. Yeah, I'm not going to get we don't know. So let's go ahead and jump in right away to last Friday's Flashbang, which started on a somber note when we a audio recording was played that revealed a tragedy. And let's go ahead and listen to that now.
That was awesome.
Hey, you ghost! Don't you think I forgot about what you did to that bathroom?
Relax. Once Spectre Sonata wins those tag belts, the money's as good as yours.
Nah, you said that before. Once you win the tag belt, that ain't never happening.
Relax, I'm good for it. Anyways, see you next week, Frank.
Just get out of here, ghost.
Tag belt, tag belt, tag belt, tag belt, tag belt.
Look out, Tex!
Oh my god, someone call an ambulance. I think he's dead.
There you have it. The punk master ghost coming out of a music venue, attacked by a hit-and-run driver. We will hear more about this later in the program, but definitely an unusual note to begin Flashbang, although not the first attack we've had recently, even the first attack we've had with a car.
Yeah, I don't know what that says about the safety of our particular wrestlers, that you could get injured outside of the ring more so than in the ring with cars and being thrown off of tractor trailers. I'm looking at you, Sandman.
Yeah. Well, and
tried to kill me with a forklift.
Truth.
fair. So the show proper starts out with the chocolate zombie Graven coming to the ring to address what happened between with him at Breakdown 5.
I've been criticized. I've been ridiculed. I've been put through the meat grinder for the tactics that I've used to get what I want in MNW. And up until Breakdown 5, you can't argue with the results. I put Prinny in the grave. I helped get the creation's brain back. That was me. And for the first time in a long time, I had to take a look in the mirror and realize that at Breakdown 5, I didn't have enough in the tank to get the job done. And I'm out here to own up to that. A lot of people don't like the way that I got that match. And honestly, I'm not too worried about that. Because the bottom line is, I wanted to get Earl King. I'm going to cut right to the chase, Graven. What in the hell do you think you are doing? You think this is a joke? Do you think that you're just going to come out here and spew your nonsense? Did you watch the pay-per-view? Or are you blind, Graven? Did you not see what happened to us? Of course I saw what happened to us. I'm not happy with the results of 5, but I'm out here to address my particular issues. I can't deal with your inability to win the world title. I can't touch on whatever happened to Jagger. I don't know what the hell that was. And I've watched the tape over and over and over again. What do you want from me, Colt? I want you to shut your damn mouth. You clearly ain't been paying attention. Yeah, Jagger lost. I lost. You lost. All of us but Artemis lost. Does that mean anything to you? Did you forget why we formed Fate in the first place? This is exactly what he wanted. Look, man, I needed to get Earl King in this ring, and I needed to show him that he's not above the law, that he's not out of the reach of fate, and I got him in this ring. I just was, maybe I got a little overconfident, maybe I got a little angry, and yeah, it was a good counter at the end there, all right? He's seen my matches. But if I get him again, I can beat him. He's not going to fight you again. He's already proved his point. There was no interference. He whooped your ass. You got nothing to show for it. I haven't talked to Jagger in a week. The PM Ghost just got knocked out. Tiki's still in a hospital bed. Johan stabbed us in the back. What fucking part of this is working out for our plan?
There you have it. I mean, things, not well in Fate. Graven has always been a wild card in that group, but he always got along well with Colt, and now they're fraying at the seams.
Yeah, so it would seem.
I just thought of like 6 or 7 different analogies for Graven, and all of them involve sports, and then I realized the audience I was talking to, and I went, I'll stop talking.
That's,
one or two of them might get one of the jokes.
Yeah,
I
go for basketball or football. You're probably going to hit pretty close.
So Graven is like J.R. Smith. When he's on,
And
he could
lost.
shoot the lights out. When he is off, he is awful, and he could be a detriment to your team.
All right.
That went over everybody's head.
Yeah,
I promise
that
you.
was. But that's
the name.
I
did,
might as well
but-
have been like Nidzik Gump Gobbler is when he is shooting the ball well, and people be like,
fair enough.
Oh,
But
good. Squinto's got me. I appreciate that.
That's good.
Good. Hartley got it. 2 people. I'm good. Awesome. Graven could be a detriment to your team, or he could be your best player. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Well, and so I think that then the question is which is more so? Is he more of a detriment than he is a benefit? Because you have to judge the two and decide if he's worth the effort.
I think it all comes down to results.
Yeah.
If you do stupid things and get the results, people will live with it. But if you're taking all these risks and you don't get the job done, like Breakdown 5, now all of a sudden we have something to talk about.
Well, see, I was thinking more in gambling terms. He's the guy that bets big all the time. And, while he's hitting great, but the house always wins. You go to that well once too often, eventually.
Unless that house is Caliban.
That's a whole different thing. But that's okay. Caliban's a proper villain. He knows.
That's true.
So with that, let's go ahead and get into the show proper with the first match, which is the Flashbang staple, the showcase match. And this showcase match, this was an impressive showcase match. This one was really special, in my opinion. Starts out with Rico Rose coming to the ring first, followed by the Doof. So there went the budget for the night. Then Joseph Cowman of Fabulous, followed by Brandon Boss, who has to be upset that his friend Punkmaster Ghost got hurt. Sir Percival of the Princedom, Gitsu Hero, then Aurelian Starhand of the Empire of Terror, and Revolos of Apex. And this is this Revolos? I think this is Revolos' first showcase.
Yeah, because he didn't debut in a showcase like most people.
Yeah. So yeah, this
he was the mysterious third member of Mizuki's trio team,
That's-
and pinned. I'm trying to think. They beat El Pollo. I forget who they pinned in that match.
Yeah,
but beat El Pollo in their first match on Flashbang as part of that tag match.
Mm-hmm. So coming right out of the gate, well, first off, you have Rico Rose just hitting right away and getting, due to a lot of different counts, a very long pin on Aurelian Starhand. But to Rico's credit, he held it. So there goes Starhand right off the bat. Part of this, I mean, you've got a lot of showcase veterans, a lot of people that have been having great singles runs in this match. And then the one thing is, you know, I would say Revolos and Rico are probably the closest to newcomers you have in this match. Maybe Sir Percival. He's only had a couple of matches so far. Which
Rico's won one of these before in his debut.
Yeah, but not this time. Getting eliminated by Gitsu Hero.
And Getsu Hero looked good in this match. I mean, Getsu Hero doesn't have a lot of wins under their belt. In fact, I don't think they have any singles wins.
Yeah.
But they look good in this match. I think they had 2 eliminations.
Yeah, we're about to see the second one right here. He took out Sir Percival, and then he took out Revolos. So yeah, 2 in a row. That's no mean feat in a showcase match. As it wore on in this showcase match, this was long for a showcase match. This one, I want to say, went well into 30 minutes. And now immediately into the cover. So, you know, a lot of endurance shown by these guys. Rico Rose then gets his second elimination with Gitsu Hero.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, it was those 5 for a while.
Yeah, and then you got it. Then was when we settled in. These guys were just bringing it to each other.
Blink and you'll miss it.
Yeah. You know, finally we get to here, and you see it was Brandon Boss and Rico were practically fighting over who was going to get to eliminate the Doof. And it ended up
finally he passes out.
Yeah, not even a submission. He goes for a second. The ref's like, for your safety, I'm counting you out.
Yes. And then Rico tried to immediately go after Boss, which didn't work. And so we were with these 3 for a while, and then good night.
Yeah. Now this gets impressive because as soon as Cowman eliminates Rico, Cowman and Boss who came into the showcase each with a showcase victory. So it was guaranteed somebody was going to have their second showcase win. And it looked for a moment there like it was going to be Cowman.
And that was my mistake, because the whole time I was screaming about how he was going to win his first one, which was a mistake.
Yeah. But, you know,
that's
it's
my bad.
So many showcase matches. It's sometimes, I mean, there have been so many. It's easy in hindsight for somebody to grab the sheet and go, oh, yeah. However, with this pinfall right here, Brandon Boss becomes the 9th member of the Flashbang roster to win multiple showcase matches.
Now, here's the question. After those people who have won 2, there's not a lot of people that have won 3 or more.
Not a lot, no.
I know Big Rock is on that list, and that's the only one that comes to my mind immediately.
Right. Well, so Big Rock, of course, comes to mind because Big Rock has won the most. He has won
4.
Actually, somebody went back. They're actually counting his first win was basically a showcase.
That's true. The Battle Royal. If you're not counting the Battle Royal, then that's 5. So I was right the whole time.
Yeah. So he's got 5.
Excellent.
Then you have Magister Fool and Fuck Him Wang, both with 3.
Yep.
And then it's the Aristocratic Canid, the Curator, Huge Mane, the Madness, then Suicide Gemini during one of the 2 showcases for the tag team, and then just now, Brandon Boss. So, yes. 9
Also, honorable mention, but he also won the Monster Mash.
This is true. Big Rock has shown that you put him in with a lot of people, he's got good odds that he's going to come out on top.
Well, have you seen the size of him? I mean, how are they ever going to get him over the top rope?
I mean, that's the first problem. And then he's got those big, strong hands.
Yeah.
And that's the next problem. He's
in between all those things.
Yeah. And of late, he's been getting...
Somebody is saying that Tiki was also a 2-time winner.
If so, well, okay. So here's one of the caveats for the list. Record keeping for Flashbang only began in November of 2019.
Right. But if we can go back and confirm things have happened, I'm okay with it being updated.
Yeah. So if Tiki did win one before the 19th, then great. We could look at that. But it wasn't when we had accurate record keeping. And unfortunately, we also don't have a lot of video records.
But I can, if you jog my memory and go, hey, this is what I remember happening, 9 times out of 10, my brain goes, oh, okay, yeah, that was true. Or actually, I remember this.
Yeah. And it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, Tiki came out Tiki's came right out, and one of their first victories was against Johan, which we all know that's not an easy win just in and of itself. So he might have, like I say, it's just not in the official book that we started keeping in November. But yeah, we're perfectly willing to.
You guys are going to know your records better than us.
Yeah,
you've watched your characters the whole time,
and that's always going to be the truth. So the and you know what, our records are kept. The records we have that started getting kept in November of 2019. We've got great records. I mean, it helps us a lot.
Shout out to Carla, who is incredible with that.
Yeah.
Carla has changed the way that this thing is run because of how good those records are.
That's true. And it's helped us with a lot of things.
Yeah.
It's also helped us, with the Nexies, we were able to go back through those records and find exactly where the video clips would be for that. It has helped, above game, it has helped a little bit with some of the YouTube stuff because we can go back and go, okay, what order should these collection of matches be in to put together old matches that we're working on? A lot of great stuff. So with that, and of course, this begs the question that's been teased for a while. Now that we have 9 people who have won multiple showcases, there's obviously something hanging up as like, well, are we going to see some kind of competition between them? Time will tell. In the meantime, the next person to come to the ring, well, ladies and gentlemen, it's your heavyweight champion, Nero Napier, who wants to speak about, well, let's be honest, the quality of his competition on Flashbang.
Don't think I've forgotten how easy it was to dispatch you the first time, and no amount of training from that failed Omnislayer Jagger Blackthorn will save you from the same fate you suffered in the 64-man tournament. Once a loser, always a loser. Humans are so predictable. But seeing as you are in action against Wiley, I thought I would lay out a challenge of my own to you, Johan Mjoln, or rather, should I say, your wife. You see, people have been talking, heathen. They believe that you might be the true power couple of MNW. So, if your wife is done being the Empire's pet, why don't we see which one of our mates is the truly superior apex predator? Or is she scared that she might get tapped out by the coil?
There you have it. So while briefly addressing his own number one contender, Artemis, Nero Napier seemed far more concerned about the challenge to his wife, Mizuki. So a challenge laid out to Tigeri, the wife of Johan Mjoln. And that match was next. So Tigeri, the Amazon warrior, wife of the heathen, and of course Mizuki Napier, wife of Nero and the Queen of Apex. And this is not the first time they faced each other in the ring, but the first time they've had a singles match.
They were last in that 8-man showcase at Breakdown 5, which Tigeri lasted until the final 2 against the debuting Naja.
Mm-hmm.
And she's looked really, I mean, she beat TK in her debut. She's looked really good in every single match that she's had. They've all been competitive. She's not getting blown out. And that's why I think going into this match, Mizuki was kind of like, wait, I'm sorry, I have to what now?
True, but on the other hand, I mean, Mizuki has shown, she's every bit as tough a competitor as her husband. Sometimes even more so. I mean, was recently reviewing the Nexus, and she was clearly one of the driving forces in their Nexi wins, shall we say, or at least getting those acceptance speeches out. And here it's an interesting matchup of styles. You've got Tigeri comes off much like Johan is more of a relying on strikes and her brute strength, whereas Mizuki, much like Nero, is a lot more methodical and technical in her style.
And yet she still does like to brawl. Like, she's got plenty of kicks and punches in her arsenal, but when she's going to finish you off, it's not going to be a strike. She's going to try to tap you out.
Yeah.
And look at this super kick. That was a new one on me.
Yeah, I hadn't seen it, although it makes perfect sense. And then this happened.
And now here's where Nero messes with the ref.
Yeah. And that was like, what's going on? And then we're like, right, Nero can get into people. And it's weird because he's been declared as being non-magical. So it makes you...
I guess because the APS can't really figure out what it is. It doesn't seem to be magical in nature.
And it's like he's just this master of manipulation and deception. But then again, there was the Bayou Brawl. We're still not 100% sure what happened then.
Yep. I mean, but that could easily be a chemical induction as it could be magical.
Yeah.
So we don't know. I mean, Nero could just absolutely have drugged Wiley.
That's
we have no idea.
I mean, he's 1 kg Komodo dragon.
What the heck does she need to do?
Yes.
And then here it comes. In the end, these were two impressive combatants, and with so much focus on the ladies in Flashbang of late, I'm not surprised that these top tier were going after each other. Mizuki got the win with a pin. When was the last time she won by pinfall?
I don't know, but she's got that inverted move, the inverted version of her husband's move, the Titan Boa.
Yeah, we've seen it many times. Now, this, of course, leads the question, now that Mizuki has established dominance, as it were, who else is going to want to step up and try and take on the queen?
I think Johan might want a piece.
Johan, I mean, we've already been hearing that Johan has been issuing a challenge for a mixed tag match. That news coming today. I had a moment to speak with Joe Mojo, and he had an encounter. We'll just leave it at that. Oh, although, okay, I see. I'm hearing from Phyllis in the production booth that we actually looks like we have Mizuki Napier waiting on line 2. So let's take a moment and bring the Queen of Apex herself in. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the match you just saw the recap of, Mizuki Napier.
Well, hello there, fine gentlemen.
Hello, Mizuki. So obviously, after I'm sure a bit of posturing, having a chance to get one-on-one with Tigeri and establishing your win, what's next?
Oh, I will gladly accept anybody to step up to the challenge, as it were.
I actually had a question. If I can ask it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So, and this is just, I'm doing my journalistic duties, so don't shoot the messenger. But as everybody knows, you're very close with Blight Howless. So I was curious what you thought about the recent events that transpired in MNW.
Well, I do dislike what happened to my friend, but it is not my place to speak about what has truly happened, and I'm just going to let everything unfold the way it should.
Do you think that there's any correlation between the person that attacked your husband and the person that attacked Blight?
There's a possibility. But then
plan,
again, it could be separate people.
Do you plan to be at the front of the line to get your hands on them?
Once I know 100%, why, yes.
Okay. That's all the questions I have. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Eric. So Mizuki, I guess I only have two other points that are of interest. I don't know if you're aware, but Johan Mjoln laid out a challenge earlier today to you and your husband to face him and Tigery in a mixed tag match. Now, the brass has not made any indication whether or not they will sign off on that match. But what are your thoughts on if it ends up with you and your husband versus the heathen and his wife?
If it does get passed, I would love to fight against them.
Very well. And then finally, is there anyone else you're looking to perhaps find yourself in the ring with in the future?
No one comes to mind at the moment, but I'm sure there's a couple of people out there that I would love to spar or brawl with.
I mean, not even Naja, who turned down Nero's invitation to join Apex?
If I find myself in the ring with her, it will be a very good fight.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Mizuki. Ladies and gentlemen, Mizuki Napier of Apex. And now on with the show. Right. And when I say on with the show, recent events with Kevin Blackwell. Specifically at Breakdown 5, Kevin Blackwell had a match against the Bulldog, Grant Martin, with the stakes being Bulldog looking to regain the mask of Shere Khan, and mostly just to put Blackwell in his place, which he managed to do, being the third person now to beat Kevin Blackwell in singles competition. There was, of course, he had Jack the Questionable with him at ringside, and there was an attempt by Red Star Roman to come out, but he was blocked by DeLuna 13. Blackwell had some things to say, more targeted at his associates than his opponents.
I paid Jack the Questionable and Red Star Roman to do a job, and clearly they didn't get the message. How do you let a runt like DeLuna derail your entire interruption? And Jack, where was the backup? But if I've learned anything, even hired help is worthless. Hence why I wear it across my chest with pride. One versus all. Which brings me to you, boneheads. You see, while some people might fear you, I think you're overhyped and overrated. As you saw at a previous breakdown, I dominated the Bulldog and DeLuna in the same match. Why? Because that's how I roll. I am bigger than you, I'm better than you, and Burden, I don't care how big you are and how tough you are outside of the ring. I will jump you backstage, put you through a table, and you will do nothing about it, because no matter how big and strong you think you are, I am that much better. I don't hide behind tag teams. I am the most decorated single star in this company. So Spike, why don't you come and find out why I'm the gladiator?
And there you have it. Blackwell. So, kind of an interesting look at life. Was it me, or was he basically saying, "How dare you stop my cheating"?
Yeah, he pulled a vicious. Excuse me, I was trying to cheat. How dare you stop me?
This is going to sound weird, but
Not cool, man. Not cool.
I feel like he's stepping on Vicious's territory. At least I feel Vicious is like a little bit more, just at least above the board with what he's doing. But yeah.
Yeah, because he was like, I wasn't coming down to interfere. I just wanted to watch, and they attacked me. So he at least had a cover story. Kevin was like, excuse me. He was too small to stop you from getting involved in my match, which I clearly wanted you to do.
Yeah.
And how dare you not cheat better?
Yeah. Also on social media, we've got a message. I think this is from Jack Andrews' account. It's just saying TikTok. TikTok.
That might be the Sandman's account.
It might be, but do we know if Jack's okay?
No, he ran away from a hospital.
Yeah. Anyway,
that's not good.
But then when obviously Blackwell noticed the challenge from the Bone Warriors, and Spike answered the call. Yeah, there we have one half of the tag champions coming down to the ring to face the modern day gladiator, and speaking of his view on the rules of late. There's Blackwell right behind him with a chair.
And look at him taking his time. He clearly enjoys this.
Yeah. He was flat out stalking him.
And then as soon as he turns around, bang.
Yeah. And we're already, after what he did to Rabbit, we're already, I see him coming down with anything, and I'm like, wait a minute. What's going to happen here? But you know what? This is Spike. This is one half of the Bone Warriors. These guys have been holding on to that championship for a reason, and it's not just burden. And Spike is just not going to take it. And how hard is Spike's head to be able to do headbutts like that on a helmet?
Well, I'm pretty sure that the only brain cell he has in his brain will not be damaged by those headbutts.
This is true.
Well, he is part of the Bone Warriors, so it's probably just a lot of bone.
That is what your skull is made out of. Yes.
Yeah.
And but bell never rang. This has never been an official match, as far as I can tell.
No, it was a no contest.
Yeah, just
for those of you that were curious and following along at home.
Yeah, these guys just went in and fought. About the only thing that I could say about this is, they both gave as good as they got. And Spike wasn't going to take any of it. And eventually, I think Blackwell just decided, okay, I've done enough.
Yes, Spike was having none of it. But Spike being able to defend himself did not stop Burden from going crazy backstage because he tore up catering.
Yeah, and that's,
And if you know anything about Flashbang is you do not fuck with catering.
No.
Manatee is having none of it.
So that's so now is a great time. One of the things we do here on Friday on MNW Firing Line is
Friday Night Firing Line.
It's having two F shows. It's just sometimes. Yep. Oh, wait a minute. We're getting something on social media. It looks like it's from the same account from the last one. So it looks like it's from Jack. Says walls have ears, doors have eyes, trees have voices, beasts tell lies. Beware the rain, beware the snow, beware the man you think you know.
Oh, I can see. Now I get it.
Okay.
Clearly somebody's hacked his account.
Oh, geez. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
That's just. That's sad.
Internet troll. It's probably meme.
It could, yeah. You know what? After everything, oh boy, after everything that happened, which we'll get into later in the show, it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Well, I give Meme credit. They're getting quite poetic with their comments.
They sure are.
So, as I was going to say, with the things that have been going on with people working on promos in MNW, we have a lot of promos that are sent in by the wrestlers to be played during the show. And every week we like to call out the best of these style of promos from both Flashbang and from Warzone. And right now we'd like to play the one we chose this week from Flashbang, and that actually is from Spike, addressing, well, let's just, let me just let Spike speak for
Addressing
himself.
a few things.
Yeah.
We considered Vaporwave respected opponents. We were amused by their bluster and bravado, but we warned them not to get ahead of themselves. Now they are beaten. They speak of us poorly, lashing out like sulking children. We know what you are doing. You think that by getting under our skin, you might get another chance. Well, if you wish to test yourselves against us again, then by all means do so. But no, the titles have passed you by. We are looking for new challengers now, and we are all about earning things. Pissing us off does not earn you a title shot, but it may earn you a lesson in respect. Speaking of respect, now that breakdown has passed, we wish to speak with one Kevin Blackwell. What you did to the rabbit did not go unnoticed. And though we know that your part with the Bulldog, Shekan, and the Luna Trace has not yet ended, there'll be a reckoning coming your way, Blackwell. Rabbit may want to have words of his own when he returns, but though vengeance can be patient, justice is often swift. The scales must be balanced, Blackwell, and there be a heavy toll hanging over you. You might even call it a burden.
So there you have it. Spike of the Bone Warriors. Yeah.
Oh, I forgot one more thing. I cannot count beyond 3. That is why. Or I don't know Spanish. Either way, me bad.
And with also on social media, Zephyr Tail. Whoever this bloke is, what jacked Jack's Twitter don't know shite about anatomy. And
That's
then also Deluna 13 on social media. I would like to point out that Kevin calling himself the most decorated person on the roster is hilarious when he lost all 3 times he went up for the Flashbang World title. Also, him defeating is technically true until you realize I started the match, lasted till the last second of to the last entry in the chamber, and he was eliminated right before me. All right. So, yeah, I think DeLuna is the next person that really would like to get his hands on. DeLuna still has a lot of outstanding issues with Blackwell due to the circumstances of the break-in at his family's home.
Mm-hmm.
So that one
we haven't seen DeLuna the last couple of weeks.
We haven't. I mean, he got the job done, at
But then he told Bulldog, "Hey, I've got stuff to take care of." So I guess he's taking care of whatever he needs to take care of.
Yeah. So, from Night Demon, look, he's a zombie, and we are lucky he can form sentences.
That is true. I do the best that I can.
So, with
Don't laugh at my promo.
Fair enough.
Storyteller.
No promises.
That is rude. Continue with your show.
Yeah, we're going to move on. So, earlier we had talked about Victor Vicious and his own issues with quote-unquote cheating. That is, he, of course, claims that the Time Bandits cheated in their match against the Cartel during the Deus Pulp Invitational Tag Team Tournament. Which, of course, apparently means stopping him from coming to the ringside for whatever reason. And after Breakdown 5, when the Cartel defeated House Caliban in a Survivor Series match, Vicious and Dr. Caliban had words with each other about, what is and isn't cheating, and also who actually is the better team. So to set matters straight, they agreed to have a rematch of that match from the Deus Pulp Invitational Tournament, the Time Bandits taking on the Cartel once and for all to settle the matter, at least between who would have won between those two teams. So, of course, out come the Time Bandits, and the being on the same page again is always a strong position for them. Then facing Nitzig Gunk Gobbler and Hutch Cale, who has recently upgraded his armor.
I think he's done playing around.
I think so. I think he's getting serious with the Beskar. So one of the big points here is when you look at Hutch Cale, it's important to remember that Hutch Cale has singles victories over both members of the Time Bandits. And I bring that up for a particular reason. In a recent promo, Hutch Cale made the comment that House Caliban won every encounter that had occurred between the Cartel and the House Caliban. And the truth is that's not true. Hutch Cale actually has yet to be defeated by a member of House Caliban in singles competition. Which makes you wonder why a Mandalorian would be revising history so much.
I mean, they're normally not on the right side of it most times, so I get it.
I thought there was, I'd heard something about a code of honor. Maybe I'd misheard. I don't know.
I mean, it's a code of honor to their people, yeah, but I mean, it's subjective to everybody else.
All right. I mean, that's fair.
Maybe it's a code of honor about like, hey, make sure that you have some revisionist history to make sure that you look good.
Sure. I mean, hey, you know what? If Simon the Psycho can have his own ideas of what's right and wrong and what's true and what's not true, I suppose Hutch can as well. You know, we're fair to all of our aliens and otherworldly beings.
Also, I don't know why I'm being yelled at that the mouse is coming for me. I don't know what they're talking about.
I have no idea. The mouse. I don't think. I haven't seen a mouse anywhere around here. I've seen a chicken.
No, I haven't either.
I've seen a frog.
I have. I've seen a chicken of death.
Yeah, I've seen a Komodo dragon. I've seen it.
Also true.
You know, and you know we've got minotaurs for days.
I've seen an orc.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know Nitzig Gunk Gobbler, the orkiest of orcs.
And check this out, a move that he pulls out of his hat very rarely, but is highly successful. It's the time loop.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've seen the time loop. I think a lot of people had forgotten about this and forgotten how devastating a move it can be.
Yeah.
And Hutch is swinging for the ropes and just...
He's trying to grab onto it and he can't, and then finally lets go of it. But I mean, he pulled it out of the bag and then immediately attacked.
Yeah. And this is... We talked about it before. When the Time Bandits are on the same page, they're on the same page.
Oh, and there's Nitzig who trips coming out of the ropes or something, but he missed it.
He didn't even come close to hitting Thunderbolt. And with that, the Time Bandits, with some grade A teamwork, come out victorious against the Cartel for the second time. And at this point, I don't think there's nothing you can say about that. That was as clean a victory as you could hope for.
I think Nitzig might argue that the ref didn't stop the count when he broke it up, but it looked like he whiffed.
Yeah, I mean,
I think that's absolutely another. Victor, that's absolutely an excuse he'll use.
He might, but in the end, the whole idea of a breakup is it causes the person holding the pin to lose their grip and your partner's shoulders to come up, which is not what happened. Hutch's shoulders were on the ground, and the ref saw that, and he kept the count going. If Victor wants to dispute it, well, we've got tape.
You sure do.
It's right there. He is welcome to review the footage at his leisure. We'll send him a copy. As a matter of fact, hey, Victor, if you want to review it, I assure you that footage will be up on YouTube tomorrow night by probably a little after 9 p.m. Pacific time.
Multiverse Nexus Wrestling, don't miss it.
Yeah. So at which point you can watch it all you want.
Solid plug.
I thought so. I was proud of it. All right. I do it. Somebody once told me always be working.
Always be working. AB dubs.
Yeah. All right. Now, earlier this in the program, we talked about the various attacks that have happened. At this point, we have somebody hit Nero Napier with a car, taking him out for a couple of weeks and costing him a slot in an important match. This was followed by another attack on Blight Howless, which he has still not recovered from. And then, as we heard at the beginning of this program, the night just before last Friday's episode of Flashbang, the Punk Master Ghost was hit in a vicious hit-and-run attack. Fortunately, we've got somebody on the case. It appears that, at least on a semi-official basis, the brass has assigned the Omni Geek to be the official investigator for Flashbang, and he came to the ring to update us on the status of all three attacks.
So it seems that the work is never done, and I am here to let you know that the Punk Master Ghost is in stable condition at a local hospital, and after reviewing the details of his case and the security camera footage from the club that he was at, I can tell you that this was most definitely an intentional hit and run. Now, that being said, I do have an update on Blight Howless, who is in stable condition, although he is being treated personally by Apex. I haven't had an opportunity to speak with him, but the poison seems to have negated his lycanthropy. Those are the only details I was able to gather from Apex. They're quite prickly. That being said, it is without a shadow of a doubt the same man that attacked Nero Napier, who seems to be targeting Apex for some reason, and noteworthy that none of the people I requested gave me any kind of statements. And so I have talked with the brass about what authority I might have to compel people to talk. If you'll recall, I asked for statements from one Jagger Blackthorn, I asked for a statement from Earl King Wes, and from Scott E. Stevens, and yet none of them seem to have paid me any mind. So, I will take this up with the brass, I will continue my investigation and hopefully get more details, but if you do not give me a response by next week, I will compel you to do so with force.
So, we've got OmniGeek getting a little bit more enforcement ability from the brass. I guess they're serious about it. You got to think from the brass's perspective. It's not good for business to have your talent being taken out, especially when it's not something you can, promote for ratings.
It's true.
So
this is a very serious situation if people are just taking out wrestlers.
Yeah, it's there's certain that, if you're going to do it, I mean, at least be in the ring. Do it as is intended. Face each other in the ring. Although there has to be limits. Witness what happened to Rabbit. That was completely uncalled for. You don't try and, I don't care if it's in the ring or out of the ring. You don't try and actually disable your opponents.
Nope.
So
unfortunately, we have plenty of mercenaries that I'm surprised OmniGeek is not looking into. But either he's ruled them out, or I guess he's just going step by step. But He clearly has a reason to go after Stevens, who has a huge gripe against Apex. Earl King is known for poisoning people, so having him on the list makes sense. And I mean, we know Jagger's a hunter. It wouldn't be. People forget when he first showed up, it was him and Blight had a huge rivalry.
Yeah.
Until he eventually moved on to dealing with the Empire and Fate was formed. But for a time, that was the guy he was going after. So good on OmniGeek for knowing his history, and I guess good on him for trying to compel people to talk.
Yeah, obviously OmniGeek, he's a smart guy. He's got a history as a hacker. He's got great attention to detail. The question's going to be if he's going to be able to actually coerce the information out of anyone in the ring. So, Will, no, stop. Do not bring Rene Dupree into this house.
Oh no.
Just do not. Yeah, I watched that episode of Legacy Inc. Okay. All right. Now, on a completely different note, let's shift gears to another.
Now for something completely different.
Well, and this is another heated rivalry that has been going on really since his debut. And I'm, of course, speaking about Death himself, Helixux, and the issues with the Empire of Terror. Since he came to Flashbang during the draft, he has been of singular focus, wanting to get his hands on, well, ultimately the person he holds responsible for the breakup of the New Four Horsemen, that being Earl King Wes.
Mm-hmm.
And what better way to do that than to tear apart Wes's group, the Empire of Terror? We've already seen him go up against the Grim Reaper. And now, Death himself comes to the ring to face Dark Lord Popo, which there's more going on here than just taking on the Empire. If you know your history, Helixux faced the Beast High Rolled, what many people would call the original version of High Rolled in MNW, who wore the mask that you now see on Popo's face, the so-called Mask of High Rolled, or the Parasitic Mask, which enhances the physical abilities of whoever wears it. He ripped that mask off of High Rolled, which resulted in that version of High Rolled's death. Now, since then, somehow that version of High Rolled returned, his brain having been put in the body of the creation for a time, and then his body appearing at Multivania alongside the Empire with somebody else's brain in it, who we still don't know. Plus, you still have the original mask. All of this is issues that Helixux, he wants to know what's going on, and more importantly, he wants to deal with it. He wants to put this down once and for all. Thus, this match. I think I got all the history in there.
You sure did. And this is just going to be Helix on a warpath on his way to get to Earl King West, who he absolutely wants to take out one more time.
Yeah. It's worth noting that Earl King West's one shot at heavyweight gold was against Helixux,
and he came up just short. It was a hell of a match.
It was, but yeah, he didn't get it. And so you have to figure Earl King West also would like a little bit of redemption on that, but the King of Kings is never going to take a straightforward route. It's not in his nature.
It's just not fun.
No. Plus, if he can't arrange for himself to have a clear advantage, why bother?
Yeah, I completely agree. Also, the other thing is Ramoon was not at ringside. Helix wanting to go it alone.
Yeah.
And this is very personal for him.
And
they're just obliterating Popo.
I mean, Popo...
The choke slam into the punches and...
It's not the first time we've had a one-sided match with Popo, but usually it's been in his favor.
Which just goes to show you what kind of a tear Helix has been on.
This is, you got to give Rabbit credit when he arranged that draft. He gave up Ginger Boy, the first ever Flashbang heavyweight championship, but he got Helixux in the deal. So I want to say he came out ahead. Nothing against Ginger Boy.
No, and Ginger Boy's been doing very well over at Warzone.
Yeah, he has. So, And speaking of Earl King Wes, well, when the King of Kings heard the accusations from the Omni Geek, he decided to come to the ring and answer the questions put forth by the investigator.
I think during the last few flashbangs, I have been with the Empire. And you can check with any of them that you want. I'm sure they'll all corroborate my stories. As for where I was during Breakdown, I was preparing for my match. I recall there were a few flashbangs where I didn't appear. More than likely, I was strategizing with either the Grim Reaper or Simon the Psycho, both of whom can fill you in on the details if you really need them. I can't seem to remember anything beyond that. You'd have to ask me specifically about a night if there's one in question. Now, you, of course, are probably accusing me or questioning me because of the poison aspect of it. I can assure you, I may have poisoned Tiki the Troll, but that was for my own entertainment. I really have nothing to gain from going after Apex. I represent them. Don't be a fool.
So there you have it, the King of Kings making his answer to the Omni Geek. And so, all right, I'll say it. I'm going to say it. I mean, yeah, his alibis are mostly other Empire members.
Yeah, but it's also people he knows he's got in his pocket. And if you can't break the alibi, it kind of ruins the investigation.
What can you do? I mean, to be fair, the only reason he's in there is his perchance for poison. So and yeah,
but he's good at it. He poisoned Tiki, and Prinny beat the crap out of him, and the poor guy hasn't been seen since.
Yeah, and that's I think we're
over a year.
Yeah, it's been a year. I mean,
out of game and in game.
Yeah.
So justice for
Hashtag
Tiki.
Justice for Tiki.
Yep. Tiki, we keep you in our thoughts. Excuse me. Now, the next match, we'd mentioned earlier in the evening that Nero Napier had made an offer to Naja to join the Apex, and Naja just flat out refused. Just wasn't interested in joining Apex. But that wasn't the only offer that Nero made. He also made an offer to the aristocratic Canid after Canid's performance at Breakdown 5 and the revelation of the Canid's true face. And the Canid, while considering it, was confronted by El Pollo de la Muerte, the leader of AAA, Animals Against Apex, stating that it's a devil's bargain joining with Nero. Canid wasn't convinced and challenged El Pollo to a match to basically a put up or shut up, prove to me that you are somebody I need to take seriously.
Mm-hmm.
And so, with that match, out comes El Pollo de la Muerte and the aristocratic Canid, once again wearing that mask. Guess we only get to see his face on special occasions.
Shot to the face.
And this is so the Canid has had great performances recently. Was a recent #1 contender for the Interdimensional Championship. On the other hand, El Pollo is one of only 3 people to be able to beat Kevin Blackwell in ring one-on-one. And has one of the most devastating submission moves on the roster.
That chicken wing is devastating.
It's, it is. It's one of those moves, you see it come out and you're just pretty sure the match is over.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Wheel of Pain where if somebody gets out of it, you're like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
I was just going to mention the Wheel of Pain. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, it is. Although, again, people like we saw last week with Johan Mjoln getting out of the Wheel of Pain. It can be done. And the same with the chicken wing. It can be done. But it's a rare person that could do it. Although the Aristocratic Canid making the argument that they're that rare person. And, the Canid showing they have I would say their style is not flashy. They are a much more methodical wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
But whereas, El Pollo is a luchador. Is going to have those flashy moves, those high stakes moves, and is going to put on a show.
Reversal there by Canid. Drop kick to Pollo.
So,
one of the things that I'm interested to see is whether or not this changed Canid's mind.
This is true. I mean, that was what this match.
That's the real question. It's did it at least keep them from joining Apex? Because El Pollo even said it's not about them joining AAA. It's about think about what you're doing by joining Apex.
Yeah.
Pollo connects.
So there you have Poultry in motion.
Into the cover.
Getting a cover on the Canid, but Canid is just not going to stay down. Like we said,
I mean, Canid had that best of 5 series with Brawl Kaiser. They were a #1 contender for the Interdimensional Championship. Canid is no slouch. They rose up the ranks very, very fast.
Yeah. But
So
also
are you
a
saying that you
multi-time
can't keep a good Canid
8-man
down?
matches.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. But like we talked about, that chicken wing,
Yep.
and as soon as it gets slapped on, even the Canid had to tap out. So,
But it took a lot out of Pollo. Look how tired they are.
yeah, not an easy match. Maybe the contrast of styles. El Pollo likes a fast-paced match, and the Canid worked really hard to slow things down.
Mm-hmm.
But in the end, the Chicken of Death, he manages to bring forth another victory, and for that crossface chicken wing. So it's going to be really interesting to see what the Canid. I would not be surprised if we hear something tomorrow night, one way or the other.
I mean, Nero said he wanted an answer by last week, so we're already over the time limit. So it'll be very interesting.
This is true. Yeah, and Nero's not known for his patience.
He is not.
So with that, earlier in the evening, of course, we saw Kevin Blackwell have a match with Spike that never happened. Ended up just being a brawl between the two of them. But he ended up getting a second chance when the other half of the tag team champions, Burden, came to the ring to take on the modern day Gladiator. And this is
a huge match. I mean, I never thought I would see these two. Oh, and look you don't see Burden get manhandled. And in the start of this match and throughout portions of it, Blackwell absolutely took it to Burden.
Yeah, you don't see that happen. I mean, first off, these are two. They're not the largest guys on the roster, but they're far from the smallest. And
they're some of the most powerful and intimidating.
Also, both of them are not people used to losing.
No, they're not.
They are the guys that come into the ring and you say, "Oh, well, I expect this guy to win." So when you get two of those guys in the ring, well, someone's got to lose, or something horrible is going to happen, one or the other. You were talking about Blackwell taking to Burden, but I mean, honestly, the reverse is also true.
It is true, and it's not often that you see Blackwell get bodied. I mean, this was a hoss fight if ever there was one.
Yeah, I mean, people often, when the bingo cards come up, ask the question, "What's a hoss fight?" Well, here's a great example, right here.
Or Johan versus Helix, or something of that nature. But
something like
this was a hoss fight.
Yeah, and this is
maybe Blackwell would have done better if he had had a mask to pull off.
That's true.
I mean,
it was only face paint.
Yeah, that might have given him the motivation, I
mean, it's true, but and then of course, once somebody's outside, I mean, this is not where you want to be when you're facing Burden. This is been the downfall of many a wrestler finding themselves in no man's land with the Beast of Burden. But oddly, Burton then decides to bring it back into the ring, which is interesting. But I guess it's Burton wanting to show Blackwell, I'll beat you in your yard.
Yeah, I'll play your game and still win. Which,
yep.
I mean, that's one way to do it.
It is.
Also, look at the height he gets on this powerbomb. This sit-down powerbomb. Like, that's disgusting.
Yeah. I mean, it's bad enough against normal opponents. Then you got somebody like Blackwell, and it's like,
yeah,
that's got to be at least 10 feet.
I'm gonna lift you. Yeah, I'm gonna lift you that high in the air and then drop you on your head.
But in the end,
and I can't imagine that helmet has too much protection to it.
And right there, you saw it well scouted. That, I mean, Burton was going for the battle scars, and Blackwell was ready for it. And then he just punches and elbows and just, again, playing Burton's game of brawling all over the place and being effective. And now the first finisher of the match, 10 minutes in, it's the Gladiators March.
Yeah. Which, when we see, I mean, this is, we talk about moves that when you see it, it usually means, well, it's time for the match to end.
And yes, he did just war drums, Johan.
Yeah. And there you have it. Kevin Blackwell wins. Yeah, a rare loss for Burton. On the other hand, I have to feel that for Blackwell, I mean, Blackwell's entire reputation, his whole aura is, I don't lose. And coming off of Breakdown 5, having suffered a decisive loss to the Bulldog Grant Martin, I have to feel that Blackwell looked at this one as a do-or-die match.
Yeah, could you imagine if he lost twice in a row?
Yeah, at that point, he would be like, okay, why do we even take this guy seriously anymore?
He also might just straight up murder somebody.
Yeah. So it may be for the best that he won that match, reestablished his dominance, as it were. Although, as DeLuna was saying on social media, that's great. Now let's see you win a title. Time will tell.
Essentially, yeah, that's always been the knock on him is like, yes, you don't lose, but when you do, it's on the biggest stages.
Yeah.
His pay-per-view record is not very good.
No, not really. And this is the person who's had the most chances at the heavyweight championship.
He had 3 in a row against Ginger Boy, and he could not get the job done. But he always had an excuse as to why.
Yeah.
Oh, it was because it wasn't my kind of match, or oh, it's because DeLuna got involved, or oh, it's because of this thing.
Well, and then he had a shot against Nero.
Yep, and there was, I mean, what is he going to say? Oh, well, but it was in the chamber. It's like, well, yeah, but so was everybody else.
So I guess it's going to be, that's how it's going to be. Well, we have one last match, but boy, what a match. The main event last week. So to set the stage, the previous week, there were 2 showcase matches. But they, while they were regular showcase matches, they had a unique stipulation. In each showcase match, there was one half of a tag team. And the stipulation was whoever wins that, their team goes into a match to earn the #1 contendership for the Bone Warriors Tag Team Championships. Unless the other member of the team won the second match, in which case they would get to just go straight to the Bone Warriors and name their stipulation. Now, that didn't come to pass. Although, great match type. Really good match type. In fact, you think other people might be looking at scouting that idea.
Yeah.
Really good type. But the 2 winners of those showcases were Suicide Gemini of Hell's Kitchen and Lord Bareback of the inaugural Flashbang Tag Team Champions, Dungeons and Destiny. And with that, Dungeons and Destiny come back with their mother, Moira Draco, to face Samuel Manatee and Suicide Gemini, Hell's Kitchen. There was a lot of eyes on this because you have 2 fan favorite teams coming in. Manatee and Suicide Gemini, the unlikeliest of pairs, but who function very well together. but have yet to have their opportunity at the tag belts. Up against the first ever Flashbang Tag Champions, who lost their belts to the Empire of Terror and haven't had a shot yet against the Bone Warriors.
Well, they've never had a one-on-one shot. There was that triple threat Iron Man match that the Bone Warriors won by a pinfall, but that was 3 teams, and that was after the Bone Warriors had come back and taken the titles off the Empire. But they never got a shot at the Empire. They never got a shot at the Bone Warriors 1-on or 2-on-2. And so this was their opportunity. Hell's Kitchen has never had a shot at the tag titles. So one of those two things had to change.
Yeah. And a great match. I mean, Drathulu, first off, let's remind you that Drathulu won a Nexi this year. He won Swerve of the Year for his shape-shifting at Breakdown 3 during the Gauntlet match. So he a lot of attention, a lot to work with. And then, of course, his brother, Lord Bareback, who was the one that won that match last week to earn them this opportunity, versus Suicide Gemini and Manatee. And Suicide Gemini, yeah, he's a hard man to put down, because the harder you hit him, the happier he is. And Manatee, you got to figure, Manatee's already angry. He's the head chef, and somebody busted up catering earlier in the evening.
Catering, yeah.
So he's got some frustration he wants to get out. Also, I'd like to point out, as we're watching this match, one thing that was very clear is, Manatee and Bareback were in this match, but it was a lot of Drathulu and Gemini.
And Gemini, like, I'll point this out. Gemini looks slow.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and here comes the bio bomb. Like, this is the first finisher of the match, early in the match, and this was your ball game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Bareback cuts off the ring, so good positioning. But like, we've seen Gemini take a lot more punishment than that, and he just didn't have it.
Yeah,
which I was surprised about.
Exactly. Now, given, like you were talking about, good scouting by Bareback.
Yeah.
He knew exactly what his brother was doing. There's something to be said. I mean, there's a special place in tag wrestling for brother teams. It's one thing to go out there with somebody you've worked with a lot or a best friend, but when it's your brother, when it's the person you grew up with, you talk about being able to communicate in the ring. And then you add in who these, they're a unique family. Let's just say Dungeons and Destiny. They are okay. They're dragons. I'm not gonna.
Well, 2 of them are dragons. One of them's a changeling.
Yeah, and I wonder how that.
Drew's a changeling.
Yeah, but
and Rapture's a tiefling and adopted.
Yeah, so it's just they bring a lot to the table. Although
they look like a tabletop game. Like, they look like the NPCs for a tabletop game.
They really do. Although, to be fair, they do, with the one exception of, as we said, the deception at Breakdown 3, they follow the rules as laid out by APS very well. And that's how it is. But here they are. But everyone's now excited to see them come back and have a new shot at their old belts against the Bone Warriors. So it's going to be interesting to see how those two teams end up circling each other in the coming weeks. So have we heard when what the schedule is for that matchup?
For the tag team titles?
Yeah.
We have not. They just won the #1 contendership, so we'll see what happens. Hopefully we get some clarity from the brass on Friday, tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, it
will definitely not be tomorrow. I will say that much.
Yeah. No, it rarely is. I mean, there's anytime there's a contendership on Flashbang, there's usually a build-up. So with that, that was the main event. So now it's time for the Flashbang moment of the week. But first, a word from our sponsor.
You too can now wage war against the flabby wrestlers of MNW with your own exclusive Zacko action figure. It comes with trios tag belt accessories and nut-kicking action. pull the cord to hear Zacco's famous quotes.
Get that microphone away from me before I shove up your...
The Zacco Duo action figure, sold separately.
249 pounds each is one half of the Flashbang World Tag Team Champions, Spike!
Oh no, wait a second! Blackwell! Blackwell is set up Spike that's got a chair! Blackwell's got a chair! Spike doesn't see him! Spike, turn around! Spike, turn around! No, right to the gut! Spike sent down to the ring by himself and Blackwell was waiting! Blackwell was waiting! And they are brawling! They are brawling all over the arena! This is pandemonium!
And there you have it, your moment of the week. So yeah, that was quite a show. So one thing I'm going to do here real quick before we get into the rest of our programming, and this is going to be an above game moment. There was a request by a member of our roster. He was going to show. Okay, he left the room. Hang on a second. Hang on. What the hell? Lord Coordinator, get back in the room.
Get your ass back here, boy.
You were sitting there the whole
he got
time.
He got DC'd. He got DC'd. It's not his fault.
Okay. Fair.
All right.
Discord has
you
been,
live for now.
Apparently, Discord has been a bit of a. I was just like, I'm ready for you, man. Where'd you go? I'm trying to help you out. You asked nicely.
While we wait, do you want to send people to that dark match? Or at least,
yeah, you could. That would buy you some time.
Yeah, hang on. Let me. Boy, I hope this is going to work. Hang on. Let me.
What did you do?
Well,
it's
I mean,
the top one.
Yeah, I know it's the top one. I just realized I don't know that I have a. I might need to create a scene. I just realized I do things differently on this. This is a different scene collection. Give me a second. I can do this.
Well, I thought we were just going to give them the link. I didn't think we were.
Oh yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. You're right. I don't need to actually show it. Okay, let's give coordinate. So, we were talking about the YouTube channel, and one of the great things about our YouTube channel, we are able to put up full episodes of all of the MNW shows, and we break them up into chapters. So, if you're looking for a particular match, it's very easy to find. And last week, so what we showed you was all of the actual official matches, but there was a dark match last week. It was done so that Bosco could decide who he was going to raid.
Yep.
Because he had
not a joke.
He had engaged democracy, put it up for a vote, and it was a
people thought they were going to be smartasses and made it a tie because I saw it.
Yeah. So it was a dead tie between Morecroft and Trash King Arisen. So the simple decision was, hey, well, let's have a dark match to determine who would be the person that would get the raid. So I'm putting a link into the chat. This link is to the YouTube video, and if you follow that link. Also, Storyteller put in, it will take you straight to the dark match, Arkolf versus King. So, there you go. All right, so here's what I'm going to do, I think. Coordinator, I see you haven't been able to get in yet, so...
after the call-out.
Yeah, after the call-out, we'll see if we can get you in. See if you can get things working. In the meantime, let's just go straight to the call out. You can try on your phone. All right. Well, get it set up, and then we'll bring you in after this. So now it's time for the call out, and this is I will say this about our plucky interviewer Joe Mojo, and that is he does a great job of finding the right interview at the right time. And with this show being, we're about to review the Gaol, the Warzone Pay Per View. He found the perfect person to interview coming into that event. So, ladies and gentlemen, the Callout with Joe Mojo.
Thank you, Firing Line, and welcome back to the Callout. My name is Joe. My next guest, he is the undisputed future. He is 1/3 of the main event Mex.exe. He is 1/3 of your Trios champions. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome R Sawyer. Sawyer, thank you for joining us tonight.
Well, it's good to finally be invited, but good things come to those who wait.
You are one of the older names that we have here in MNW, 1/3 of the trio main event Mex. For those who have never heard of you before, what can you tell us about yourself?
Well, I'm not old as some in the multiverse, but the undisputed future will oblige. I'm R Sawyer, an android that was manufactured in the UK. I joined shortly after the first Multivania. That particular first year was quite a run. I faced off against Ogre, the Vaudevillains, where I was nicknamed the Clown Slayer, and then became the Bear Tamer of Grizzly Adams by the next Multivania, thus becoming world champion.
And how did you come across the Nexus?
Believe it or not, that's actually been a mystery to me. It's been one of those things where you just popped right in there. I've tried to look for clues, and I've gotten some hints here or there, but it's not much. Heck, I don't even know who made me. That information got scrubbed clean. In a way, my Robro, Zacko Duo, is actually quite lucky. He at least knows who made him and why.
Is this what drew you to Zacko Duo originally, forming the Robros tag team?
Yes, that's pretty much the nail on the head right there. Zacko was the first one that I could actually consider a friend here in MNW, and our status as the only robotic life forms in MNW at the time suddenly left little room for me to team up with anyone else, especially when you're having to contend with the likes of Ogre, or 8 feet tall of the big green arsehole.
Besides your current titles being the Trios Championship, what other titles have you held here in MNW?
Well, when me and Zacko were WND, that's Weapons of Mass Destruction, there was the World Championship that I took from Grizzly Adams, who were also tag team champions, and I also have the distinct honour of being the first wrestler to successfully cash in their Money in the Bank case.
I actually remember that. It was one of the first times that I was drawn to MNW. You cashed in on Grizzly Adams, if I'm not mistaken.
I certainly did. I also remember the first promo I ever did after winning the Money in the Bank. I told him that war was a psychological game, and I knew how to play that game. I knew how to wait for the right moment. And so, Multivania it was.
How did it feel to hold the MNW Championship in your hands for the first and, I believe, the only time?
It was quite exhilarating, especially the match to earn that title. You're practically on top of the world at that point. Though in losing that belt, I was far more generous with my compliments at the time to who I lost to. But time has told on how well that played out.
Unfortunately, a newcomer by the name of Edward Bosco did take the title from you.
Been and gone, and he's never coming back. And to see your faces when I went out there in his hoodie during my Robro shoot therapy stunt was amazing. So amazing, in fact, it got nominated multiple times at the next.
Nominated and practically swept the Warzone side of things, with the exception of, one.
Indeed, it did. And it was amazing what my Robro pulled off with that.
The hits did keep coming with you, Zacko, and Malice, forming Main Event Mex. Why did you join Zacko when he and Malice started teaming on Flashbang, and then moving back to Warzone?
Chancellor, that man was Zacko's father. And at the time, that man certainly wasn't stepping up to the plate on being a father for my Robro. Heck, he and I even had matches over that very same opinion. But when the moment came and Zacko stood up to his father, I upheld my promise to my rope that I'd stick by him no matter what. So that's what I did, and it's what I continue to do to this day.
You three have been on a tear after the fact, winning and becoming the second team to win and being the longest reigning Trios champions. Some say the highlight of Warzone itself is Zacho's shoot therapy sessions. If I may ask, what goes into those promos?
What goes on in those sessions? That is a good question. It's certainly something that my robo Zacho could explain better himself. But from what I can see, he's calling it like he sees it. Everyone believes they are so grand and important, but in reality, they're just so very small. And in those sessions, he cuts them down to the size that they actually are.
So is that why you three started expanding into Flashbang?
Flashbang, Warzone, pay-per-views, it doesn't matter. It's all the same. Now, if you're asking about the production stuff that we've been doing lately, that's been quite an interesting endeavor. Sure, we're well versed in giving someone the lucha music for some harmless fun, but sitting there, commenting on a match, that was hilarious.
Yeah, Memory Science Theater they're calling it. Magic of the Trio Doom had a lot to say about that match with APS.
Did they now? To be perfectly honest, I didn't actually read what they said. I was more working on my tune-ups for the matches.
That he did. Magic made a formal proclamation about gaining some form of revenge for disrupting that match.
Disruption? We were providing much better commentary than erection ginection. So if they want to comment over C-, they're welcome to. We'll be giving them quite the show to enjoy when we bury VIP into the ground.
How is Meme preparing for their match going into the Gaol?
Well, if my Robo's altercation with Wilson is anything to go by, he'll certainly prove why there's a Zacho action figure with nut-kicking action that outsells anything that Wilson can do for merch, which isn't all that much of a reach because there isn't any merch for the arsehole. Malice will do what he does best, be the can crusher and give out blue screens left and right. As for Azir, I'll be stunning my way to victory over the self-entitled little twat.
I mean, I can't really say too much on that matter, being an unbiased journalist and whatnot, but if Wilson got locked into the blue screen a little bit too long, would anyone really miss him?
I'm an android, Mr. Mojo. I heard every word of that, and I'll be sure to pass the message on. Now, unless there's anything else, I need to head back.
With all of this being said and done, as we are winding down here, is there anything that you would like to tell the Firing Line audience?
I miss murdering clowns.
I would like to thank my guests for joining us, and if you would like to see a shock from the future, please tune in to twitch.tv/Takahata101 for MNW Warzones, Saturdays at 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. This has been Joe, signing out.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, the call out with Joe Mojo featuring R Sawyer. It's and quite the trip down memory lane with old Rosso this week.
It's true. I remember that robot.
Yeah.
So much potential.
All right, so should we give it another shot?
Yeah, let's give it another shot. Hang on, let's see if I can do this. It's okay, we might get to talk more about that later. In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, we have Lord Coordinator and okay, let me try again. Hang on. All right. One more time. Do we have Lord Coordinator?
We're going to find out.
I mean, yeah.
You got on mute, buddy.
You're muted, right? There you go.
There you go.
Okay, can we hear you?
Speak to me, buddy. Speak to me.
There we go. Okay,
right.
I can hear you.
Okay, so
we can hear you.
So, Lord Coordinator, you asked for a little time this week, and again, let's be mindful of time. But you got something going on tomorrow, and you asked if you could have a moment to show yourself.
Yes, thank you very much. And I'll try not to ramble as I usually tend to do. So, this is just a quick thing. Tomorrow, I've been setting up a last-minute, big 20-hour stream for me and a bunch of friends, just as a short description. As a lot of you probably had the same issue, COVID and social distancing has, canceled a lot of things going on in our lives. Events, conventions, being a big part of it. And were not for that, this particular time of year, I would be preparing for a very large event that I do at a convention nearby here, Anime Milwaukee. So, since it's been a big part of my life, it's my sole creative outlet, and it's what brought me to meeting a bunch of my current friends, the best friends I've ever had. So since we're not able to hold this event, my friends and I decided, you know what, we're just going to have, a big gaming party with all of us, and talk about the convention, reminisce about the event. The name of the stream, and it's a long, so I'm gonna try not to trip over it. It's the Coordinator and Comrades presents the Cosplay Combat Chess Competitive Cavalcade for charity. So I won't go into the context of the event. I'll be glad to explain tomorrow. But basically, we're going to be doing 20 hours worth of gaming, leading up to what is the online equivalent of the con we used to go to. And we'll be trying to raise money for a charity called Anime for Humanity, which helps use anime and video games to lessen the stigma around mental health. And hopefully it should be a good amount of fun. And I was hoping to share that thing we love with this family that I've built to this new one that I've joined in the MNW. And, you guys can learn about the thing that I think prepared me the best for joining this community. So anyway.
This is on your stream, right?
Yes, this is on my stream, twitch.tv/Lord Coordinator. This is not, like I said, the event that this was, Cosplay Combat Chess, that I run, was part of Anime Milwaukee. However, this stream is 100% independent, run on my stream. They're giving me a nod here and there, but the two are not related. There's no money or anything's going to the con. This is just something that me and my friends decided to do, just because we didn't get the chance to do this event this year.
Sure. All right. Well, thank you very much for stopping by and plugging
We've
the
had
event.
the schedule up on the screen while we've been talking to you, so everybody knows what your schedule is going to be like.
I see the times. What is your time zone?
Okay, my time zone is Central.
Okay.
So it will be 1 p.m. Central, so 11 Pacific.
Okay.
Tomorrow, and then going into Saturday morning.
All right. Well, thank you, Lord Coordinator, for stopping by, and we will talk to you later.
Absolutely, and thank you very much for this opportunity. I know it's not a regular thing.
Yeah.
So.
All right.
No worries.
All right. Catch you guys later.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be rating you.
All right.
I'm sorry. You said that just as I was. Timing is everything. Timing is everything. Okay. Well, with that, so let's move on to Warzone. More specifically, let's move on to the Gaol. This was the latest Warzone Pay Per View, and with quite a packed card. A lot happened. Now, there was a dark match that started the show, and just as with the Flashbang dark match, we're not actually going to play the dark match. But once again, at the YouTube archive for MNW, you can find that dark match right here in the. If you go to the link in the chat, it will take you directly to the dark match. Let's see, and that you can see what happened. I'm also getting a warning. Discord is
incorrect. That is a link to a match further into the card.
Is
I
it?
will get you the link to the
you're
dark
right.
match.
You're right. Never mind. Yeah, that's the
trios match.
That's a trio. You know why I put that link? I'm going to leave it there, and we might play it later. The trios match had a very interesting opening.
Oh, yeah.
And
while we if you want,
while we couldn't capture that whole opening in our recap section, I think it's worth seeing.
Sure, you could.
I'm going to be honest. I've gone back about 3 times now to the YouTube video just to look at that opening again because I enjoyed it so much.
That's I didn't know. So I didn't. We'll talk about it when we get to that.
We'll talk about it when we get to it. Yeah. So let's go ahead and let's just get into the show itself. Yeah, Rosso. I've played it over a dozen times. I'm sure you have, Rosso.
You can play that for them live. You just have to skip to that part. It's only like 3 minutes long.
I haven't got anything set up on this particular scene collection to play directly off of the.
Oh, that's easy to set up.
I mean, I know it's easy to set up.
Neither here nor there.
I haven't done it. All right, so let's get into the Gaol. So the first actual match of the evening saw McMorgan coming to the ring to take on the Terror Angel Fierce Strikes. And this, you know, as curtain pulling matches go, it's a pretty good one. You've got McMorgan, who's been working hard to make a name for himself on Warzone, taking on one of the Warzone vets. Of course, that being the Fierce Strikes, formerly of the Faces of Fear, now an independent wrestler. And so McMorgan, I guess McMorgan has been struggling to find his place. He's been part of the Spitfires, although they as a group haven't been as active of late. And I think he's still looking for that place to be known for more than just getting the hell beaten out of him by Louis McDonald.
Right.
And so
I think I would agree.
Yeah.
This is a great way to do it. Fierce Strikes is a great stepping stone. I mean, competitor.
Yeah. And the on the other hand, you know, Fierce Strikes isn't about to lay down for anything. So Fierce Strikes is now I've been checking because it's been unclear lately who is what kind of entity. I think Fierce Strikes is the only official angel we have currently on the roster.
That sounds right.
Yeah, I mean, for a while there were claims that Albatross was an angel, but of late that seems to have been called into question. That may have just been an angle.
One would hope.
Then there was some
that reference burnout.
Yeah. Anyway, the point being, the Terror Angel takes the match. So McMorgan, still looking for that big moment. But he took his opportunity.
Well, and
I don't think anybody's going to get mad at him for taking his shot.
No, and he took it well, and that's the important thing. And he's looking for that shot, but I'll give him credit. He's not being an ass about it. He's not acting like I deserve this. He's like, I'm coming for my shot. I want to earn my way. Also, real quick, I want to do a couple shout outs. Thank you to Lasumi01 the Robot for gifting a tier 1 sub to Joe Mojo. And thank you to JFrost747 for gifting a tier 1 sub to Actual Human Will. And thank you to Zacco Duo for cursing the stream. Damn it.
Wait, what?
Zacco's
here?
Zacco, I thought we were friends. Zacco.
I like how he shows up just for his part of the show.
Zacco, what are you doing to me? Anyway. I have no... Okay, Zacco, fine, I'll remember that. And also thank you to Hartley Reaper for gifting a tier 1 sub to Simon the Pyro. All right, let's get on with the show. So the next match was one of 2 matches determine a tag team contender, it was the 8-man tag team hustle. And thank you to JFrost747 for gifting a tier 1 sub to Zacho Duo. I'm really scared because now I'm scared of what Zacho is going to gift a tier 1 sub to. No, oh God. Please be kind. Anyway, so the tag team hustle worked like this. It was an 8-man ladder match to determine who would be the tag team contenders. One member from a tag team would be entered into this, and in a later match of the same type, the other member of that tag team would be entered into it. And of those two matches, whoever won those respective teams would then face off against each other in a match to determine who would be the tag team contenders.
That
sounds familiar.
Concept. I might steal it.
Yeah, it's a great type. You know, yeah, you might. I mean, I don't know if it's been copyrighted yet. Especially because you have this whole thing with the ladders. I mean, that's innovative,
huh?
You know yeah.
Sorry, continue.
How many we've been doing this?
Moving along. I can't help it. I'm not a good person. I'm not a good person at all.
Just a moment above game. When Kurt was first describing this on his stream of what it would be, he was going through it in like minute detail, and I was trying to follow. Do I need a flow chart? And I was listening to it, and then I went, wait a minute, this sounds really familiar. and the thing is, Bosco was in the same voice chat, and he's like, wait a minute. So yeah, this is
Mate.
But you know what? It's fine because it's still a cool idea, and it gets a lot of people involved, which is I guess really the purpose. So anyway, let's go ahead and look at this great match that got set up.
I would say it's a great showcase of the tag team competitors.
It was. Well, and here's the thing. You know what? We're giving it crap because he sniped.
He doesn't watch my show, so I know he thought of it and was like, this is a great idea. It just, the timing was so perfect.
The fact that he announced it the night after you had done
After I'd already done it, I was like, oh, you poor baby.
It's like, like you said, he obviously had it it's that whole
his brain, independent of my show.
Zeitgeist thing, and you two maybe work together too much.
To be fair, he made it a fucking ladder match or something crazy like that.
But here's the thing: as much as we joke about this, it's actually a pretty good match.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It turned out to be a great match. I mean, so you have Flyboy Bell of Los Bell Bros, then Da Funk of the Funky Beats, Feel Good Inc. of Conquest Bloodline, Sparrow of the Sentinels, Raphael Sampson of the All Odds, Registered Anon coming in as a wild card, since he's not currently part of a tag team, and then Alpha Kong of Omega Club.
I remember him.
Yeah, then this match, and this went on for a bit.
This was I think this is the best RNG ladder match that I've ever seen.
And that's what we say. We were making a lot of fun of the setup, but the execution turned out great.
Yeah, the match was like, you couldn't have recorded a better match. Like, I was blown away, losing my mind. Like, holy shit! They're actually like not letting them climb the ladder and actually attempting to stop them and actually succeeding.
Yeah, and the RNG was acting like you would actually expect a ladder match to go. It was great.
Yeah.
And yeah, the Twitch chat was really getting into it, and the voice chat was really getting into it.
Yeah. Again, there are advantages to RNG, which is when you know it's not pre-recorded, it's happening live, you can cheer for shit because you're like, oh well, even Kurt hasn't picked a winner.
Yeah. You don't know who's going to win. But then there's moments like this. I mean, Anon with the ladder was just, he was doing some, and I don't know if it got caught in the edit, but he was going around just killing people with that ladder.
Yeah.
So yeah, you
also Burnout apparently said that Kurt was in my stream last week, so he is a dirty thief. I take back everything I said. Fuck you, Kurt.
Well, there you go. Then never mind. Well, okay, we tried.
It's gone.
We gave him credit. We apparently should.
Yeah, Burnout threw you under your world champ threw you under the bus.
So and apparently, so we got to keep an eye. If any of us drop in this call, apparently Discord is acting up tonight.
Yeah, that's what I saw.
So
hopefully, if we drop, it's not you because you have all the footage.
Well, yeah. I mean, the stream. If I drop, then at least the stream will continue, and then I got to find you guys again.
No, if you drop, the stream will continue, and then you just have to like switch it on a delay.
Yeah.
And we'll have to watch it on a delay, and I'll be like, all right, I think I know what's coming.
Yep.
Anyway, yeah, hell of a ladder match.
Yeah, it and a lot of the people that got in there. I mean, that Theron Eldrazi. I mean, this was great because the Outlaws have kind of been lost in the shuffle of late. So, getting a crack at the belts again. I mean, that's the thing. And in fact, on the phone right now, the winner of that 8-man tag team hustle match, ladies and gentlemen, from the Outlaws, Theron Eldrazi.
In before he says, "Hi, boys, I play for blood."
And it looks like he might be having some Discord problems. I see the green ring, but I'm not hearing you
at all.
See if that's on my end. Nope, I got your volume maxed out.
Should I do my Theron impression?
I mean, you could try. We'll give a Theron. I'm going to drop you out and in again. See if that fixes
Hey,
you.
can you hear me now? Can you hear me now, Doc?
I can hear you now.
All right. So, it's not the match I want to talk about. I want to issue a warning to the Funk, the other team that won this.
I mean, spoilers.
Spoilers, but yeah.
Funk, I want you to think about the last time you faced us. I really hope you're keeping DJ real close to your side. Because if you look back, the last time you faced us, you looked like a fool, you looked like a chump, and your partner made you look like a monkey. Your partner lost that match. And then we put your partner, and I know we're not to say this name on stream, but we put Chimpanzee out to pasture. You should have just told DJ to let CJ take that case so you didn't have to face us again, so you didn't have to look like a goddamn fool again, Funk. And next week, you're gonna look just like you did back then.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that has been Theron Eldrazi, who has a...
Look, man, I don't know why people keep talking about Redacted. We repackaged him, he put on some weight, and now he's back on Flashbang. Like, it's fine.
Yeah, that's totally the same guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally the same. Yeah.
We repackaged him as Revolos. Man, it worked for Husky Harris.
Who?
Exactly.
I have no idea who you're talking about. Okay. Why do we always get saltier when we get into this section?
I don't know.
Okay, now next up. All right, so this match, there's just a lot of rivalry here. I mean, this match wasn't for anything other than a bunch of guys wanted to hit each other, really. That, of course, being High Voltage, represented by Aiden Zero, Wonder Ball, and Justice Jake, against Legion. That, of course, being Trice, Louis McDonald, and Kane. And when I say people want to hit each other in the face, I mean, in the end, really, it's all of High Voltage wants to hit Louis.
Yeah, true.
And it's not the first time that's come up. You know, we've had previous matches where High Voltage take turns hitting Louis in the face. But this time,
he has a very punchable face.
It really is. But this time, he's got some decent backup. I mean, let's be honest. High Voltage, this team in High Voltage consists of two of Louis' former partners, and then the former heavyweight champion. On Louis' side, he's got Trice,
former leader of Omega Club.
Yeah, leader of Omega Club, but former Big Oof champion. He held the Nexus, didn't he?
Trice, I don't believe so.
Okay, I'm sure. I think he held another.
Louis held it, but Trice is not.
That's true. And then Kane, a man
that's the interesting one.
Yeah. So ever since Kane came back, he had a laser focus of getting his hands on Dr. Grimm, and that didn't go so well. He tried a few times. He got into matches with Grimm, and it didn't go the way that he was hoping. But this, I mean, Legion managed to pin. I mean, you got Trice getting a pin on Jake.
Yeah.
So Legion, we're talking about some strong competitors, guys with a lot of history in MNW. And but outside of, I guess, going for wins, we don't really know much about them, what their goals as a group are.
Honestly, if you look at these three guys, it's three guys that have all, in their eyes, been shortchanged. Trice feels like he hasn't gotten the opportunities that he deserves. Louis always feels like he's been cheated. And Kane never got his hands on Grimm. He was never allowed to fight Grimm. He had to keep inserting himself into matches to get his hands on Grimm. So these are three guys that I think feel slighted by the brass, and they're just here to be like, you know what? We're going to tear things up. Much like the Nexus did in WWE, we're going to tear things up until you give us what we want.
Mm.
And you know what we want.
That's a good point.
So give them what they want.
We'll have to see how that goes.
Give them what they want.
We know what they want.
You know what they want. Give them what they want.
What they really, really want?
I'll tell you what they want.
What they really, really want?
So the next match now. While we have the issues of whatever it is Legion want, this next match is the final match of a best of 5 series. That being the Republic versus Eastern Bloc Party. And this is less a match about status in wrestling as it is a social debate with punches of capitalism versus communism.
Yep.
And really, I feel that, you've got Sir McCheese and Locken, who are just there to wrestle. And then you've got Sir Uncle Dunk and Nice Ice, who are there with an agenda. And that is to prove that their position is correct.
Yep.
And I think it's worth noting, when was the last time the Republic, as a faction, won? And I don't mean matches. I mean won a feud.
They haven't. In my they lost to Omega Club.
Mm-hmm.
They lost to the Hats.
Right.
They lost to the Empire.
Right.
And, spoiler, they got a pinfall in this, but they didn't win this either.
No. So there's a lot more. I think there's a lot more going on than just the capitalism is better than communism.
No, I think this is the only time that Uncle has beaten somebody to prove a point was Probunaga.
Right.
He said, hey, Probunaga, you weren't there for any of this, and I challenge you to a duel. And he beat him. Uncle beat a former MNW champion. This broke my heart right here. The fact that it was a double pin on both of them.
Yeah. So, and then here, as you said, once again, the Republic.
Double pin. That's embarrassing.
Yeah.
McCheese and Uncle both being pinned.
And I mean, to add to your point, I think that this, we're talking about all the things that Uncle has lost. I would say that the one thing he thought he still had was his principles, the foundation for his what he believed in, and now he lost that too.
And he said it in his promo leading up to this match that maybe it's time for him to reevaluate things. He wished Eastern Bloc Party luck, but he's like, you know what? Things are changing, and maybe it's time that I adapt and change with it, much like capitalism does. And we have yet to see what that means, but I don't think he could be happy with the results that he's seen.
I mean, reports are he was furious backstage after the match.
And getting back to the point about Probunaga, even though he won that, it was Probunaga who went on to bigger and better things. It was Probunaga who had an opportunity to be in the chamber for the #1 contendership that eventually went to Burnout Vaughn. Unkley hasn't been involved in any of the singles titles pictures at all. He hasn't gone for the tag belts. He had one shot at the trios. It hasn't materialized for him, even though he showed Probunaga, hey, you were wrong. And Probunaga was like, yeah, you're right. And then he has a rocket strapped to him. And Unkley's like, wait a second. I'm over here protecting this hat. I'm over here showing you that he's wrong. And that's who you're going to cheer for? What the hell?
What about Owen?
Well, and let's go back. Let's go back even further. We've talked a lot tonight about the Nexies. And at the Nexies, one of the Republic was up for Tag Team of the Year. Ultimately losing out to Los Belbros. The return of Probunaga was up for Moment of the Year, and it won. Probunaga's return at Multivania has been lauded. So that's just more to your point of, Probunaga, who Unkley feels abandoned the Republic, has been lauded since he came back.
Yep.
Everything is
a pattern on Warzone. You're noticing a pattern of disgruntled employee. You look at Legion, all three of those guys we already talked about. You look at Unkley. Mm-hmm. You look at a guy like Burnout Vaughn, who we're going to talk about later. Like, there's a lot of people who have basically said, you know what, in 2021, I'm not going to wait for stuff to come to me. I'm going to go after it, and the consequences be damned. And that seems to be, that's a theme early on this year on Warzone. People going out and saying, I'm taking what's mine, come hell or high water.
Right.
So, and if you think about
yes, I will give credit where credit is due.
The common theme is, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, and I will give credit where credit is due. That's something that Zaco Duo did against Chaz Lee last year. He was like, you know what? I'm going to do shit my way. And now in 2021, a lot of people are following that mold of like, I'm just going to go get it. Sorry, what were you going to say, Story?
I was going to say, with the common theme being faction warfare and taking what you want, you have to start looking at the numbers game.
That's fair. That's also very fair. All right. Well, be that as it may, the next match, it was part 2 of the 8-man tag team hustle. And so, coming in, the only questions were for some of these teams, which person is going to be their partner? So, first off, surprising no one, Sasquatch Wing of the All Lauds, DJ Milsner of Funky Beats, and of course, Daverman of the Sentinels. And then the next person out, Carnival for Conquest Bloodline, so showing which Conquest member was coming out. CJR Killer for the Outlaws. Strongman Bell for Los Bell Bros. Then One Chance for Omega Club. And Richard Steranon. Coming out again.
We don't know. And then that was... I'm mad that kind of worked, that Anon came out twice, but I don't want to think of the logistics of it. I just want to enjoy that moment.
True.
Yeah, you just enjoy it.
Yeah, and he came out at least dressed differently. Came out in his suit.
It's true. He's one face away from being the faces of Foley.
He is.
Yep.
I wonder sometimes if we're ever going to get, somebody else who's going to be doing. I don't want to think about it. You know what? If it's going to be Rich Strand, I don't want to know what his third form's going to be.
It's going to be a Bayou Boy. He's just going to dress up like Croc Moore.
Oh boy, that can see it. Here's a moment you wonder about: Sasquatch Wing dangling from the roof.
Oh boy!
But then Wing, Wing was an early favorite because he kept going up that ladder.
I will say this: anyone but Juan.
Yeah. In fact, you were saying that.
The whole match.
Repeatedly. The whole match.
Anyone but Juan.
I was listening with you. At times you were
also,
yelling.
I don't know if he's part of Omega Club. During the broadcast, there was some things said that made me question if that was true.
I mean, he definitely was out as the other partner for Alpha Kong.
We don't know that.
We don't?
Based on, if you go back and listen to the broadcast, that's not what C- said.
All right.
Later on, C- clarified that Juan was attempting to come out there solely on his own merit and, I guess, in a sense, play spoiler to somebody.
Okay.
So, yeah.
That's,
So Juan Chance is not a member of Omega Club.
Yeah, and Kelly is now very pointedly telling us he didn't come out for Omega Club.
Yeah. So, and I'm just saying, maybe Burnout will go back to Omega Club now. Maybe the protest worked.
Yeah. Well, Burnout's saying what merit?
But we do get the winner.
Let's see. Maybe we can give Burnout Vaughn in here and see if he'll go back to Omega Club now that Juan is officially not part of it.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I want to poke that particular bear. Let's celebrate the fact, and of course, as we knew from our earlier spoiler, DJ Milsner got the case in that case. So it'll be the Outlaws versus the Funky Beats.
Funky Beats.
So 2 former tag team champions.
Yep.
What goes around comes around. Now,
that'll be a very interesting match.
We had just been talking about Probanaga and his return and the effect it had on Sir Uncle Dunk. But also how ever since he's returned, I mean, he's been given all these opportunities. Well, our next match shows the Glorious One coming to the ring to take on the Beef. And that's a match you look at and you think, okay, I cannot think of 2 wrestlers more diametrically opposed, just in form of style, and in a cage, in a steel, in a Hell in the Cell. And the first question is,
there's the beef.
There's the beef, and why are we in a cage? I never was completely sure what was going on in this match, and I know
we're in a cage because we could be. I think Probate laid down this challenge and said he wanted 2 out of 3 falls in a cage, and so here it is.
There it is, and yeah, that's the other thing. This isn't just a straight up pinfall. This is 2 out of 3 falls.
Oh, okay.
Why would you want 2 out of 3 falls in the cage, though?
I'm receiving information that this was a requested Hell in the Cell match for a star chip.
Thanks, Phyllis.
Are they? Oh, that's right. I forgot. Probanaga was one of the. Okay, this was a star chip match. Okay, well
that sure was.
That at least is fair. Star chip matches, the combatants themselves get to choose the stipulations.
Right.
Yep.
Now Probate might come back to regret that because Probanaga won the first fall. But Beef was still in it. He won the second fall. And then this right here, we saw the Sexplex earlier. So what happens when you get that supersized? It's a super Sexplex. In the cage.
That super Sexplexing again.
And yeah, and then here we have it. 1, 2, and a kick out. Because let's keep that drama going. Let's go Unkley.
And then into the crucifix, and this was almost it right here.
I mean, honestly, these 2 were. We talk about how, you've got the Great Refined Emperor and the Jersey Tiefling.
Yeah.
And
that was a great ending sequence. That was really good.
And now this means the Beef has 3 star chips. And Probanaga is now down to 1. One more loss in this, and he's out of the chase for the battle champion.
Yep.
Chip to Beef, 1
and
left.
We're starting to see people taking leads in this battle.
Yeah, it's going to get interesting. What's going to be interesting is once we get people knocked out, so there's fewer star chip holders, but also when you start getting people with more chips, because at this point, people are only willing to risk 1 chip at a time. But per the rules, they are allowed to bet up to 2 at a time. So what's going to happen when you get somebody who feels comfortable with their lead to put 2 up?
I mean, that's what I think you're going to see. The people who can get more than just 2 are going to start to try to knock others out, which is why if I have 2 chips, I'm going after anybody with 1. And once I have 3, I'm going to try to take out somebody with 2.
Mm-hmm.
Or 4 that I'm going to put up 2.
And, so we're going to have to see it right now. Yeah, it's getting... I'll have to check the books. I know that I believe it is Sparrow is also down to 1.
Sparrow is at 2. Squatch lost their match to Sparrow, so they are down to 1.
Right. So yeah, Sparrow regained a chip due to that.
Sparrow got the chip from Squatch. Squatch is down to 1.
Right. I do know that Blue Dandy is also at 3.
Correct.
So the ones we still have to see, Maximilian Thunderthighs. Yeah, he still has chips. So
I think everybody who has chips still has chips.
Yeah.
R Sawyer still has 2 chips.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, no one's been knocked out yet, but yeah, it's going to be
people on the brink.
Yeah. How long till someone bets the career to meet a 2-chip bet? Go full Yu-Gi-Oh.
I mean,
that would have to be okayed by the brass.
Leaves Warzone.
Yeah. And okayed by Registered Anon. Technically, he's in charge.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. Well, the next match. Well, so now we go to our first major title match of the card. That being the Big Oof Championship, featuring Mega Blitz X in his updated rider armor, Mr. Tiefling in the Bank, Rapture New Road, and the champion, Maximilian Thunderthighs. So, Rapture got in here by cashing in his money in the bank, but doing it in a, announcing ahead of time, I'm going for the belt.
Yep.
So,
what a nice face thing to do.
Yeah.
He clearly didn't watch what happened when McCheese did that.
No, he didn't see how that worked out. I mean, even Justice Jake went, nope, I'm using it now.
Yep.
And who is facier than Justice Jake?
I mean, to be fair, he was doing it against the hat, so I get it.
Yeah, no, it was fair.
Yeah.
And in this one, of course, you've got Maximilian coming in, our Make-A-Wish Foundation star. From what I understand, he spends like 90% of his time outside the arena at the Children's Hospital.
I know. Somebody should call the cops.
I've heard that he might be on staff.
Oh.
So he might actually have an official position. I'm not sure
enough.
what. But anyway, and then of course we got Mega Blitz X. Mega Blitz, who came within a hair's breadth of having a shot at the World Championship, being in the final of the Teacup tournament, and being the crowd favorite in that tournament. And then Rapture New Road, who is a former Big Oof champion and looking to reclaim the belt. And this being a triple threat match means the champion doesn't have to be involved in the decision to lose his belt.
And he almost wasn't right here.
Yeah. 2
And,
count on the
I
team.
gotta say, I
And
think the upgrades to his outfit are paying off.
And here you have it. This is, correct me if
He
I'm
was
wrong.
not pinned.
Yeah, this is the first title run for Mega Blitz X.
Singles title run. He was a tag team champion,
Yeah.
if I'm not mistaken.
So, and we've been talking about how there's been it's not the fastest upward trajectory, but definitely things have been improving for Mega Blitz as time's gone on. Well, with that that match, in the interest of fairness.
Oh, here we go.
Even though, as you said, he wasn't involved in the decision that cost him his belt. Ladies and gentlemen, Maximilian Thunderthighs.
Hello, everybody. How are you all doing tonight on the great show Firing Line?
We're doing well, Max. So Max, your title reign comes to an end at the Gaol, and you were obviously, as we said, you were not involved in the actual decision, being out of the ring at the time. What are your feelings at this point?
I mean, what is there to say? I lost the match. I got hit in the face with a nice corkscrew takedown, rolled out of the mat, and couldn't get myself together in time to stop it. At the end of the day, I lost the match. Mega won, and he's the champ. And I wish him the fondest champion run as long as he can make it. That being said, a little disappointing. I thought I could keep it for longer and keep pushing something I want, but I couldn't. And I got to live with that, and I got to keep going forward.
And how are the kids taking it?
Well, without going into too much spoilers tonight, there's another championship they were more concerned about after I lost, but the kids understand. I was a little quieter on the hospital wing when I was working a couple days ago, and they're still around and they're still supporting, but it's a little awkward in the hospital right now.
Right. And all right, Max, I'm just gonna ask this flat out because people have been asking. What's your official position at the hospital?
I am a pediatrician.
Wait, Max?
Yes,
Max.
I work as a pediatrician, and I specialize in clients and patients that have incurable diseases or unknown substances. Something that requires a lot of long-term care. I also help out with the nurses when they don't have enough time, because I don't know about you, but I have a gorgeous amount of energy. I don't know how to describe it any more than that, just making up a word.
I think the word is egregious.
Oh, no, just I couldn't even think of a word that would count for the amount of energy. Sometimes I don't even sleep. It's very strange.
Max, I wait a minute. I got to stop for a minute. Are you telling me that you are in fact Dr. Maximilian Thunderthighs?
By title when I'm in the hospital, yes, Dr. Maximilian Thunderthighs. Dr. M for short.
You've got to be kidding me.
Okay, so I'm processing. Have you ever I'm gonna
gone to college?
Yes, I went to the University of Great Flexing. So I went to UGF.
I see. And you got your GED?
I did. I got more than my GED. I got my LMNOP and QRS too. It was actually quite nice.
Your good enough diploma. Excellent.
I mean,
I don't think that makes you a doctor, though.
Pardon me, I couldn't hear you.
You're about as much of a doctor as Dr. Phil.
Well, I mean, I'll put it this way. Since you're a fully grown man, I don't think I can help you. But if you were probably under the age of 18 and you were requiring some sort of cure in some sort of incurable disease, I can do my best.
You know what? Okay. Before my world gets rocked anymore, Max, what's next?
Let me just make this clear, and this may be just a official announcement through Firing Line. I'm coming after every single belt in the multiverse, and there was nobody going to stop me. These kids need a hero, and if it's going to be me, then I need to make sure I know that I am going to be that one. So if you're holding onto your belts, hold them tight, because I'm coming to get them.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here first. We thank Dr. Thunderthighs for his time this evening, and we wish him the best in his next endeavor. Thank you.
All right, goodbye, everybody.
Okay, he's off the line.
What just happened?
I don't know. I thought he was going to say something like he was an orderly or a candy striper. You know, something that made sense.
Oh, well, you have your social media is blowing up.
Oh my God, it is. Burnout Vaughn. Hello, Max. You can call me the man who is going to stop you.
Oh, that would be a match I'd pay to see.
Yeah. Actually. Okay. You know what? I think the thing that'll help us all right now is we get back on track and go to something that makes a lot more sense. That, of course, being
we
the
still
match.
have to cover Warzone, so careful.
Yeah,
Trashman.
The match of Bart Ender versus Trashman Jones.
I think it made more sense.
For the Warpgate Hardcore Championship, but for so much more. So first off, we're once again in a Hell in the Cell. And
they just left it up.
Yeah,
like, we don't want to mmove this.
Yeah.
It was around.
It was just easier. And the other part of this match is that if Bart Ender wins, then Power Surge leaves Nakama Worldwide, leaving Trashman Jones by himself. If Trashman Jones wins, then Bart Ender has to join Nakama Worldwide and wear the official Nakama Worldwide leather jacket. Apparently, that leather jacket was a big part of the stipulation.
Yep.
So,
well, it was very important to Trashman.
Yeah.
So.
Honestly, I think he never quite got over High Rolled taking off the Nakama Worldwide armor, which had the nice Nakama Worldwide written on it in Sharpie.
Right.
So, I think it was important to him to have somebody wearing the colors again. Also, when with the leather jacket, I have to ask who owned that leather jacket? Trashman, we're going to ask you right now. Was that Mr. Ripham's jacket?
Oh, don't say those words.
I'm saying, Trashman's never been the same since Ripham's left. Also on social media, this is from Zacko Duo. If Mr. Thunderthighs is interested in gathering titles, we here at UCW just happen to have an inter-brand title that knows no borders, guarded by a dragon. Our number is on our website.
I'm sorry, wait, what?
I think Max was invited over to UCW.
What's a UCW?
I think I hear it's an indie. It's an indie show.
Oh, that's one of those things in like a school gym.
Right? Eric, you had a UCW guy at Breakdown 5 taking on somebody.
Wait, we did?
Yeah. Oh, and I suppose we could have called this match, but who cares? Trashman Jones won.
And now Bart Ender's a member of Nakama Worldwide.
He is. Yeah.
Yep. And has to wear the NWO jacket.
Oh, but where I'm seeing on social media, apparently Kelly is not happy.
Kelly is not happy on social media.
She's not happy. She's saying, "I can't believe Trashman kidnapped our bartender."
Yeah, that's messed up.
Because
yeah.
Wow, is that going to?
I heard Glycerius is tagged with him before. Maybe Glycerius can bartend.
Well, Glycerius already works at he works in the back. He keep stocking the freezer.
That's messed up.
I thought he was just the ice machine.
So,
are you going to put the Latin wrestler working in the back? Let him be in the bartender's spot. Oh, you're right. That was where that commentator. I'm so sorry. I thought he was from WCW. My fault.
What? No.
I booked the wrong promotion. Shoot.
Yeah, no, that was Neo from UCW.
My mistake. I thought he was half a Harlem Heat. That's my bad.
Oh, okay. I can understand the confusion.
Which half?
The half nobody remembers.
The half that doesn't have to sit and try and be interesting during certain pay-per-views. Hey, I got a great idea. Let's look at our next match, which so that was a match for the we saw the match for membership into Nakama Worldwide. We've seen the Big Oof. Well, now it's time for the tag team match, and oh boy, it's a tag team triple threat,
which was unannounced.
Yeah, we didn't know ahead of time. But yeah, it was supposed to originally be Chained Hell versus Absolute Units, but then the Faces of Fear got added to the match at the last moment.
Well, more to the point, they added themselves. Now, apparently this is in regards to a rule that exists in the Gaol.
Yeah, I was never... and my understanding is the Gaol is actually under XR Coon's control.
That is my understanding. That he took possession of it after the Inquisition left.
And can you explain the rule? Do you understand what the nature of the rule was that let the Faces of Fear get into this match?
know, actually.
Okay, so for all we know, it could have been just because XR Kun said so.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say
Storyteller has
that it
pictures?
was. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that it was the rule that the Inquisition could insert themselves into whatever match they wanted, and since the Faces of Fear worked for the Inquisition, they were.
But they didn't. They were actually the only neutral party at the time.
Like I said, I'm grasping a straw, trying to think of where the loophole was.
Okay, to be fair, the Faces of Fear were, but the Order worked directly for the Inquisition, and the Storyteller.
That
was
is
part
Storyteller. So maybe Storyteller had. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, both Grim and the Storyteller were in the Order, so
yeah. So it's possible. I don't know. I guess we'll have to. Yeah. Anyway, we've got this match.
Well, regardless, they were able to.
Yeah.
And look at that Dragon Sleeper.
You know, and just when you thought, I think Forrest thought he had it. He thought his submission hold was doing the trick. But no, it turned out to be Chained Hell getting the win. And to the credit, it was a member of Chained Hell tapping out a member of the Absolute Units. So the two original teams were involved in the decision. But the
Faces of Fear ended up having no impact on the match.
None whatsoever. And the Absolute Units no longer tag champions. It now is Chained Hell, which, let's be honest, people have been waiting for this moment. Everyone knew that at some point.
Can we just talk about pulling the curtain back for a second?
Sure.
That I booked that match literally right before it happened.
Okay.
So Kurt, and the people in the voice call know this, but for those of you that want the curtain pulled back, Kurt messaged me right before that match happened. It was like, "Hey, Bosco, I need to pick an ending. I have 3 matches." And I was like, "Oh boy. All right." And so he explained to me, first of all, like, "Hey, the Faces of Fear are going to get involved. This thing is going to happen. That thing's going to happen." And I thought he was asking me like, "Oh, do you want the Faces of Fear involved or not?" I'm like, "No, the Faces of Fear being involved is dumb. Don't do that." He's like, "No, you're not listening. You don't understand. They're getting involved. I need to pick an ending." I was like, "Oh, okay. So what am I choosing from?" And he was like, "All right, I have an 18-minute match where the Absolute Units win." And I was like, "Oh, fuck. All right, that's a long match." Then there was a match where apparently Chained Hell wins, but they get the match restarted to fight the Faces of Fear or something like that. So that was option 2. And then 3 was I have a squash match where Chained Hell beats Absolute Units. And I was like, yeah, squash match. Keep it simple. And also, it ended the show on time because I was like, yeah, if we did an 18-minute match, oh boy.
Yeah, because I had heard a suggestion where it was both Chained Hell and Absolute Units decide that was bullshit. So what they're going to do is they're going to restart the match between the two of them in a Hell in the Cell, since we have one laying around, and that way the Faces of Fear won't get involved.
I mean, as it is, the pay-per-view ended 6:30, right? So about
a little before
6:30, and that was like the absolute most that it could have gone without issues. So okay, yeah, probably a good call.
Yeah, I was just like, you know what? As much as I would have wanted the units to retain because the tag titles get passed around a lot lately, 18 minutes would have just been too much. Because if you think about it, if the story or if the pay-per-view ended around 6:30, that 18 pushes you over or right up to it.
All right. So there we go.
So all together, I think it works out.
Yeah.
Yep.
So all right, before we get into the next match, as we said earlier, we like to, for each show, highlight a audio promo that we thought stood out. And this week, I really feel, I'm going to set this one up. And we had actually talked a little bit about this on Tuesday when we did the promo workshop on the YouTube channel. About people who have been working hard on their promos, taking the feedback, and bringing their game up. And I think one of the people that has really stepped up to the plate in improving their promos and really bringing it is Sam Jax. And so this was Sam Jax's promo for the Gaol.
What is a boss? Is a boss the term for someone being the ringleader of a band of ready warriors? Is a boss one who claims the lands not of their own by placing down a meaningless cloth? One must become a boss of their own mind, to overcome obstacles, to gain untapped strength by any means necessary. It is pay-per-view time once again, and I have 4 fighters lined up and ready to lose. First is the hairy ginger. Congrats on being the inaugural champion, to a brand that barely scrapes by as a serious promotion. A dirty fighter by trade, but can never overcome a stubborn drunkard. Sad. Next is the dwarf. Seems the short stack is missing my ally Gloom and wants to take a tainted belt. This is one fight you can't measure up to take for your own. Go back to the hardcore division. Next, Glycerius. Like the odd shards across the multiverse, you'll melt to a thin margin and I'll be the one to break you to pieces. You'll eventually drift back to your masquerading lost causes and fight for a careless 3-pair belt set. Finally, the Orc. The so-called Warg boss. You seem to be green with envy. You want the belt this badly? So soon after losing a shot at the MNW title? Your species is truly the most dense. We fought many times before, Jungles. You tried to break on 2 separate occasions and failed all the same. We are currently 2 for 2 between us. This match will solidify that I, Sam Jax, am a better title defender than your red herring friend. You lot cry all you want. The Nexus Titan Championship will stay in my domain. You all think this match involving tables, ladders, and chairs will be a detriment to me? This'll be nothing! Good luck to all not leaving the arena in a body bag.
And there you have it. I see some people asking, JMP himself. I was sure that either Zacho Wilson or Burnout's promo. I mean, they were good promos, but AJNP, I wanted to highlight again the fact that you've brought your game up.
Yep.
And that you've been making vast strides. Also, we do have what we call the Travis rule, which we try and rotate so that people who've recently had audio promos of the week don't get it so often. And both those parties have.
But yeah, like Caliban said, we wanted to recognize that you have improved so much over the past few months in your promo game. So we just wanted to recognize the work that you'd put into it.
Yeah, and it's kind of like why we picked Apollo Hades a few weeks ago. Same thing, the guy's stepping up. We want to show it. We want to show that the efforts pay off, and that people are doing good work. With that. Yep. Back into it, the Fatal 5-Way for the Nexus Titan Championship. Featuring, of course, Glycerius, Daggerick.
Yeah, but why?
Jungos. Because apparently this is these guys. Oh, Ginger Boy. Because apparently these guys, if you don't do well against the for the Warp Gate belt, you get a crack at the Nexus Titan.
You mean the world title?
That too, and Sam Jax. Well, because
that's the Elimination Chamber guys, and they were like, "Well, Glycerius has to be in there because Beef's busy."
Well, here's the thing. I was like, these are guys who were very recently regulars in the hardcore division.
The only guy in this match that makes any sense is Ginger Boy because he's a former heavyweight champion. But everybody else, their only claim to fame is they lost the week before in a chamber.
I mean, you're not wrong. There's a part of me that's like,
Glycerius wasn't even on the card.
Because I'm sitting here, it's like, well, is it 6 of one or half a dozen of the other? I mean, there's also the one other possibility.
Like, here's the way this works. If you lose a contendership match, you get a title opportunity. Either at the belts you wanted later on or at a different belt. Because VIP, which will be in the trios match, lost their contendership match and got a pay-per-view match out of it. I was so confused.
Like, Sam Jack. Shut it, Bosco. History is important.
Your face is history.
So,
right on the ladder.
Now, I mean,
yep.
Again, this was a good night for ladder matches.
And cage matches.
Yeah, but the ladder matches seem to go really well.
True.
Okay, Travis.
All I know as an editor was there was a lot of everybody fighting at once.
So first you could just jump the champion. Now you just have to be in a contendership match and lose, and you'll find yourself in a belt contest somewhere.
Oh no! And Maximilian Thunder Thighs, can this doctor prescribe some sass there?
What?
It was something for. It was Max.
Oh, that's why I don't understand.
Yeah.
Semjack's trying to win the belt here. Jungo's chucking out Glycerius. Dagger trying to knock down Semjax. It just doesn't work.
And there you have it. Semjax retains. You know, in a match like this, I mean, the odds are kind of against the champion. So that Semjax retains, good on him. And yeah, and Semjax, we look forward to next week when we are sure you'll face at least one of those guys again. I don't know. I don't know.
I'm confused.
Next. Yeah.
That's what, at this point, I'm like, next.
Okay. Hey, Tim.
Well, and we all know you're looking forward to this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. You think? By the way, Caliban. Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, can you put that link in chat again?
Aye.
Because this, as a lot of us have said, a lot of us have gone back and looked at the opening because this was.
So, hey, Caliban.
Hey, what?
You should check the production truck.
Okay. Oh no, what is this? Ooh. Hang on. Let me.
If you want it, it's there.
You know what? Let me grab it. So let's go through the because you know what?
Yeah, that's fine. It'll take you time, but
it'll take a minute to grab. But we're so good on time.
That's what I figured.
Right
You'll
now.
have it if you want it.
Yeah, we'll save it as a special at the end.
We'll go through the abridged version first.
Yeah. So
speaking of bridges,
so this was the Trios Championship, VIP versus Meme, and the previous week. Meme had defended against. Okay, this is sad. I'm blanking. Who did they fight last week, Tim?
They fought Conquest Bloodline.
Conquest Bloodline.
Because they won the contendership match.
Yeah. Conquest Bloodline won a match against VIP.
Yes.
And Bloodline lost.
They lost. So the runners-up got the pay-per-view match and a week off to rest.
Well, I mean, a couple of them had matches. So anyway, well, let's go ahead and let's go to the match. It was Wilson, son of Will, the Doctor of Albinomics, and Ozir Turan, of course, against Malice, R Sawyer, and Zacho Duo. After a memorable entrance.
Mm-hmm.
That we will be seeing.
We will be looking at later. A lot of people were just like, "What did I just see?
What just happened?"
So we will pull that up and then we will talk about that. So again, pulling back the curtain, you actually, I'm just going to get into it right now. You actually recorded this match.
I sure did.
Okay.
So basically, the way it happened was Zacho was like, "Yeah, I've got to do the trios match and I've got to do the title match for Vaughn versus XR Kun." And I was like, oh, "Okay, they're done," and I gave them the week off.
Yeah. And of course, being a trios match, it's
so there goes Wilson.
Yeah.
And then look at Zacho Duo, the first competitor on Meme eliminated. You don't see that often.
Yeah.
And then immediately it goes from a 3-on-2 advantage to a 2-on-1 advantage. as Albatross turns, or I should say the Doctor of Albinomics turns over R Sawyer, he taps out to Modified Maker's Guillotine. Just fuck this game. And now all of a sudden it's 2-on-1. Malice is like, well, I already knocked out Wilson. So now it's resistance is futile right to the dome of the Doctor. And now it's 1-on-1. Malice is in wrecking mode, and hey, this looks familiar.
Yeah, and then a moment happens, ref gets knocked out, and Malice is
laying into look at him lay into Azir.
Yeah, just pounding him, and the cameraman got in real close.
He sure did.
Yeah, that cameraman was being brave, especially with such a vicious mech in the ring. Also, that's something you don't see.
Cyber Stunner.
Yeah, you don't see that from Exarchun.
Or from Azir, rather.
Azir, right.
Yeah.
Oh, and then
here's where the numbers come into play. Beef trying to tell Azir to cover him. Sam theoretically going after the ref to revive him, and that didn't work.
Yep. And then this happened.
And then click Doomsday. And no one knew who this was, unless you watch Friday Nights.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen.
Even Kirk got.
Yeah, Michael Macabre of Doom. As we had heard earlier, the main event mechs had hacked the feed at Breakdown 5 and were commentating on the Doom versus APS match in what a lot of people are calling Meme 3K 2000.
Yep, Meme 3K.
Yeah, and then finally Sam Jax, the Pumpkin King. And getting an All Hallows knee on Malice, and then just looking.
I love this. He's like, nope, it's all you.
Just hanging out.
I'm here,
just chilling.
Yeah, I'm good. You just do what you have to do.
I was so happy, and then he just slumps down. He's like, and voila,
my work here is done.
Yep. And he's like, game over.
But yeah, there were again pulling back the curtain, the voice chat crowd, because the voice chat are.
There were a couple of it, like Robot was all over it, Phil was all over, but if you watch Flashbang, like Mad Jack basically was like, somehow, whether it's us or something else, your title reign is over.
Yeah.
It was heavily foreshadowed.
But the voice chat guys
But I don't think anybody realized that they would get directly involved. People probably figured, oh, it'll be a ramp run-in and a distraction or something, but like all three members of Doom laid out Malice.
But the thing is, what I was saying is the voice chat guys are mostly people who watch both shows.
It's true. They all knew. They were like, oh, fuck!
But in
here it is.
Twitch chat, there are a lot of people who watch Warzone and Twitch chat who don't watch Flashbang.
And weren't around for the Inquisition when two of those guys were on the show.
And so there was a whole lot of, what the hell? Who the hell is that? What the hell is going on? I think there was a couple of unexpectable guys who maybe put two and two together. Wait a minute. Is that the guy from the Raven line? But
no, that was the Pumpkin King. This is Mad Jack.
Yeah.
This is Justice Jack.
Yeah. So that was it, but
very
it was
different.
Either way, it was a huge pop.
Completely different character. Original the character, do not steal.
Yeah. So all right, well, we've got one last match, and then we got some stuff for you. But first off, let's do this. It's the big one. It's the heavyweight championship. Hang on. Actually, I want to bring before we go for. Hang on. I'm a little.
Oh yeah, you have. Yep.
He's been waiting patiently, and it's
he
his
has.
time.
He's been waiting for this.
He's been waiting for this moment, ladies and gentlemen. You're probably out of character because you usually are. Ladies and gentlemen, Hartley Reaper, the player of Michael Macabre.
Greetings, gentlemen.
How you doing, dude?
Staying warm.
Oh, that's
you in Texas?
Good.
Wichita Falls, to be exact.
Oh, goody! Yay! Do you have power?
Yes.
All right.
Oh, that's good.
Good to hear. So, all right, you show up, and of course, none of the people who watch Warzone only, they're like, the hell's going on? Because let's be honest, Michael's a striking figure.
Yep, that's why he was first. I knew he would be the most, like, jaw-dropping. Also, I figured they might know who Genericson and Mad Jack are, even though Genericson looks different now. Mad Jack, I even used the old outfit. I'm like, if they're going to notice anybody, they're going to remember the pumpkin head.
So, but there, what was your thought when you saw it?
Well, to be honest, I had to be told that I had a VOD to watch because I was dealing with personal stuff.
Sure.
Thank you, Scotty, aka Blight.
Was he
but
the personal stuff, or did he let you know? That was just for clarification.
For letting me know.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, he sent me a DM. He's like, dude, you got a VOD to watch. I'm like, okay, when I have the time.
Well, and again, this is why the YouTube channel is now so advantageous. You can just go straight to the matches.
That is true.
And just real quick plug in, we work really hard. We are getting those shows up 24 hours after the show ends.
Actually, I had to put on the notification because I remember subscribing to it. And then I was like, oh, the promo workshop stream was coming up.
But
why didn't I get a notification?
but enough crowing about that. Let's talk about you.
Yep.
Sure.
So you saw yourself. And
I was ecstatic.
Yes.
And I even talked to Bosco. It's like, I noticed something there. And I even had to replay it just to hear the full completion of it.
The click Doomsday and the lights going out on the click and the Doomsday being the start of the music.
Can't go wrong with it.
Yeah. It was a great moment. Because again, you get people like, okay, I'll be honest, overall, I'm pretty much a smark when it comes to this stuff. And
a lot of us are.
Yeah. And I knew it was one of those things of, okay, something's got to happen at some point because it was foreshadowed. And even knowing ahead of time that Bosco had recorded the match, and then I was like, oh, something's going to happen. Oh, I wasn't expecting this.
I'm in the same boat as you.
Yeah,
I wasn't expecting it.
It was one of those hype moments of, okay, here we go. All right, so there you go. So I guess, you know what I'm wondering here now, Hartley? I'm wondering what's tomorrow's night's going to be like for your guy.
Don't get me started on the questions mentally. It's like, is it going to be revenge? Is it going to be something else? What's going on?
I mean, you never can tell.
Especially with Ed.
Yeah, because somebody always be working.
Yep.
All right.
The gears are always turning. You don't know what's going to pop up.
Anyway, I wanted to give you your moment, dude. So thank you very much, and we'll talk to you later.
No problem, and thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Okay, so shall we look at the last match of the night? Let's look at the main event.
Let's look at the main event.
Let's.
Robot saying in the chat, not going to lie, tempted to have Malice stuck in Spanish mode after this. I fucking would die. Hey, man, you'd be able to cut your own promos. Just pitch yourself and be like, statement, golden sun chips. It's like, son of a bitch.
All right. So this match, which long time coming, sees former member of Omega Club, the one-man bar fight.
What is that song I hear?
Yeah. With new entrance music, Burnout Vaughn coming out to face the heavyweight champion XR Kun in his home turf of the Gaol.
Yep.
And one thing I realized we failed to mention, the Gaol was the former Inquisition prison.
Yep.
So a lot of, for people like Dagrick, that's some heavy memories.
For people like Doom.
Yeah.
Doom was brought in as part of the Inquisition.
So a lot of memories there. But yeah, XR Kun, Burnout Vaughn. Now, part of the history in this match is Burnout Vaughn has the history going in of the shortest reign with the heavyweight championship.
Mm-hmm.
He won it and the following week lost it. And not just lost it and was hospitalized for several months. And even his win was a fluke win.
Oh, hey, look, it's Grim.
Then we see interference from Faces of Fear.
Yeah, this is a no DQ match. And
nice enough to talk to the ref until Grizzly kicks him right in the gut.
Yep. And with a no DQ, what can the ref do?
It's true.
And there's it's just there's history, and then this. I mean,
the Omega Club special.
Yeah, it's not just they're doing it. They're taking the old Omega Club move, and this is just an insult as well as an injury.
Yep. There's just one problem because that normally ends a match.
Yeah.
There's no ref.
Yep.
And XR learns that the hard way, and so they go out to try to revive the ref, and he's like, "Well, now it's game over."
But here's the thing: Burnout Vaughn is an expert in getting concussions at this point.
But did you see that? How the face of the fear? They were like, "All right, we'll let XR do this," and then as soon as Vaughn took control, in comes the fucking wolves.
Oh yeah.
And they thought that they were going to be able to take control of this match and get XR the win.
But here's a little known fact. Burnout Vaughn has had a lot of reconstructive surgery done on his skull.
Indeed.
Something about shock absorbers. Let's remember his primary care physician is a bit of an unconventional doctor.
And then that kick to the head.
Yeah. And there you go, Burnout Vaughn with his second heavyweight championship title reign. That's rarefied company. I mean, how many two-time champions have there been on Warzone? You have Trashman Jones. Depending on how you look at the record book, you have the MVP. Who else was Grizzly
Trashman?
Trashman and
Bosco. That's it.
Yeah, because technically the MVP had
and
one title.
I think Trashman Jones did it with a different belt.
Maybe. I was just gonna say the MVP had one title reign, even though he won the belt twice.
Yeah, there are so many. I think he is the first legitimate two-time champion where there's no like asterisk.
Yeah,
because Bosco never lost the belt, and I think Trashman held a different world title. So it all depends on how you do it. But Burnout legit might be the first undisputed. And I use that word very rarely nowadays.
Right.
First undisputed two-time champ.
That's a good point. I mean, he can certainly make an argument. Yep. Heck, there could be a whole promo out of that.
I was, as we said on the promo class on Tuesday, which you can catch, by the way, on YouTube, the Multiverse Nexus Wrestling, that's / at YouTube. Spin it to your advantage. Even if there's debate about it, be like, yeah, now I'm the first legit two-time champ.
There you go. So, either way, Burnout Vaughn is once again the Multiverse Nexus Wrestling heavyweight champion. And with that, we have one last thing to look at, and then some special stuff. Mm-hmm. Ladies and gentlemen, first off, your moment of the week.
Immediately on the suplex, Sam! And he gets back in the ring. What the? Who the fucking? Who is that? Who the bloody hell is this? Who is this man? What is? Hold on. What the hell? That's a flashbang wrestler. Why is the ref calling this? It's no DQ. Oh, it's no DQ. Oh, this is no DQ. That's Michael Macabre. Fuck! What the hell? Doom! Oh! That's Night Reaper! Why are they here, Genericson? That's... Hold on, no! No! Ah, knee to the head! Knee to the head, Magic! This is where they debuted! These men formerly were... Oh my god, no! Oh!
and the new Trios Tag Team Champions, the Doctor of Elmonomics, and Wilson, the son of Will. VIP!
There you have it, the moment of the week. And so give me a second to set up this special moment. So however you guys want to bring up while I'm doing this.
Phil says incredible comeback from Ozzy there. Malice got completely out wrestled. That cheeky shit.
There it is. Okay. Okay, so thanks, Phil. All right. So we've been talking about Go ahead.
I was going to say, should we just roll the clip?
I mean, the setup is this is also from the Trios match, and this was a special bit of editing for the entrance. I'll just play it and then we can talk about it. Here we go. So, I'm not saying we might need to add an entrance category to the Nexies next year.
but
that would certainly be a possible moment of the year.
Also, I'm glad I got to see Citrix sing it now, away from the actual chat when I needed him. All I asked was like, where the fuck is Citrix?
technically, Phil, the winners of the award would be probably the main event, Mex.exe. If that went up, that's how we play it. Nexies are always in character.
Yep.
Oh, great. Another award for me.
I mean, that what I love is that was R Sawyer had. Here's the thing: when I heard the call out, and because I always review the call out when I get it from Joe, and I was listening to it, and I realized all the things Sawyer was referencing. And it's like, oh, it just plays in great to how stuff goes then later in the show. But he was talking about the sweep of the Nexies. So one of the reasons I've been Nexies obsessed these last couple of days is I got my editing done early this week. So I went, wait a minute, I got the Nexies. I bet I could just turn that around and get it uploaded into the YouTube channel. So I've got it prepped to go on YouTube whenever we decide to pull the trigger on it. And that meant reviewing it. And it just kind of brought home, that was a lot of fun. I mean, I'm not so sure I'm happy with some of my commentating because I had a lot of, but still. But yeah, the reminder of that, we actually had a lot of fun with getting the Nexies together this year.
Indeed.
And the fact that we keep talking about, pay attention to this for next year.
Yep.
Okay, so Rosso is saying that they did the lines and recorded the lines straight after the pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, good job, guys. That's all I'm saying. Good job of getting that stuff ready and foreshadowing. It was nice.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that's it. And that was here's the thing. The Gaol, little long, still got done in time. And I think it was one of the best pay-per-views that...
I would agree. Yeah, like I said, great ladder match. I really like the trios match. I was really happy with what I was able to do. I finally found a strategy to make trios matches easier, so I got what I wanted out of that. I don't love the main event, but Kurt loves it, and most people love it, so that's whatever.
Was that you two, or did somebody else do that?
Yeah, I did the burnout match.
Okay. Right.
That was supposed to be Zocco, but I was like, no, you're getting the week off. So I powered
that's
through
fair.
it.
That's fair.
It was a pain in the ass.
Okay, okay. Thanks, Simon. Actually, that's good to know. Although I don't know if have you been talking to Rabbit?
Have I been talking to Rabbit? Not recently, but I mean, good on him.
Because Simon's saying that he's in the final stretch of that. So, all right.
Who knows? I mean, I put him off screen. I put him off screen, so I hope he's not going to be done too soon.
Yeah,
Just I at least need to come back in a neck brace.
Sure.
Fair.
I'm assuming that there is an asset in the game that'll work as a neck brace.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
I'm sure.
I was just watching an ECW match from like 2000 the other day, and they had Gerbner.
Damn.
Who always came out in a neck brace.
Excellent.
So, All right. Anyway, that's pretty good. No, we're right up to time, so we're doing good.
Yep.
So it's time to shill. And okay, so first off, so that I can get this done right for the because they don't need to hear. Let's do our shilling before we figure out anything else.
Mm-hmm.
So Storyteller, why don't you go ahead and start?
You can find me at twitch.tv/Storytellers Apprentice. You can find me on Twitter at StorytellersAP2 because my name is too long for Twitter. Maybe future streams. Keep an eye out on the Twitter.
Okay. Okay, I'm almost frightened. Bosco?
Why are you frightened?
Because I've heard how you do your shills recently.
Oh, okay. You can find me on twitch.tv/EdwardBosco and at EdBoscoVA on both Instagram and Twitter. Tomorrow's Friday Night Flashbang. Tune in 5 o'clock p.m. PST. It's going to be a great show. I'm looking forward to it. RNG has been taking the wheel, and it's been working for me, so we're not stopping now.
Okay. Any previews?
Any what? Sorry?
Any previews for tomorrow night?
What can I reveal tomorrow as a sneak peek? You will get an answer to whether or not the couples match is going to happen.
Okay. All right.
So if it's yes, it's happening tomorrow. If it's a no, there will be something in its place.
All right. Fair enough. All right. And of course, right here at twitch.tv/doctor, that's dr_Caliban. On Monday, we are continuing our playthrough of Evil Genius, which is also doubling as just whatever Donkey Kang, Storyteller's Apprentice, and I want to talk about that evening. On Wednesdays is, of course, the Flag and Dragons, the crew that is true, where we generally play a Sea of Thieves, but we're open to any other multiplayer games that we might do. We've all got Valheim, so I'm not saying it's going to be Valheim, but I'm saying there's a possibility it'll be Valheim.
I've enjoyed playing that so much.
Yeah, I mean,
yep.
Tim got it into me, and then I gifted it to Kang last night so he could join us. So, yeah, it is a good game. And then, of course, join us here next week at 6 p.m. Pacific time for Firing Line. And as we cover whatever is going to happen over the next 2 days in Multiverse Nexus Wrestling. And just one last little shill. On Tuesday, we did a workshop on creating promos and developing your character in MNW. You can find that up on the MNW YouTube channel. We've had getting close to 250 views on that particular.
There is the actual video.
Yep, right there if you want to go straight to it.
And there is the YouTube channel.
And with that, let's see who. Okay,
eventually.
So, first off, the sign off, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us for Firing Line. Good night.